Playoff drama continues. Arrowhead Stadium, shortly after 3 o'clock Midwestern time. The long shot Indianapolis Colts against the Kansas City Chiefs to fill the final spot in the Super Bowl semifinals. The Dallas Cowboys have beaten Philadelphia 30-11. Will meet Green Bay, and Pittsburgh awaits the winner here. Will it be the team with the best record in the NFL? Kansas City 13-3. Past history since 71. The team with the best record in the NFL has won 15 of the 22 Super Bowls. Is it Kansas City's year? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the excitement in the bitter cold here in Kansas City. It'll be another captain comeback challenge for Jim Harbaugh. The Colts are heavy underdogs.
Well, they are, Dick, and no matter how you analyze this game and look at it, for the Indianapolis Colts to have any chance of winning, Jim Harbaugh must be spectacular. A couple years ago, he came in here as a Chicago Bear against his Kansas City Chiefs team and led by Marty Schottenheimer, and he beat them by running all over the football field. We asked the Kansas City Chief coaches, what about Jim Harbaugh scrambling? They said, we've told our linebackers and defensive backs, stay plastered to your receivers, do not come up. We will leave the tackling to the scrambling quarterback to our defensive linemen. Don't come up.
Interestingly, the Chiefs not afraid of the Harbaugh scrambles. Well, Paul, you get to this stage of the season, they say the big games are won by the big guys in the trenches.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs are 13-3, the best record in the National Football League. You ready for this? The strength of this football team is on their defensive line and their offensive line. That's the offensive coordinator of the Colts. I said, what do you do? Who do you double team on that defensive line? Those four guys? None. We can't afford to double team any one of them. And then we talked to the defensive coordinator. He said, what about their offensive line? You got 5 guys, not one guy goes to the Pro Bowl. Why? He said, you know why? Because they're all as good as one another, and you can't take all 5 of them.
Great balance for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now the Colts playing again today without their star running back Marshall Faulk, knee surgery earlier in the week. Who will fill Faulk's shoes? Well, in the final game of the regular season against New England, the answer was Lamont Warren, the second year back from Colorado. He gained a total of 157 yards, and we all saw the Zach Crockett story, 0 to hero. Zach attack, 157 total yards, 147 of them rushing last week. Will it be Crockett and Warren today? For more on the conditions down on the field, let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Dick. Well, this field is absolutely frozen. There's going to be very bad footing today. In fact, the guys cannot wear cleats today, only turf shoes. Now, I spoke to both Steve Bono and Jim Harbaugh, and they both told me that moving the football is going to be very difficult. And as for the kickers, particularly the place kickers, well, they're going to have a lot of trouble today because the footballs are frozen. Dick?
All right, Jim, and your jaw is as well. Hang in there. The Chiefs, to the delight of this crowd, as it was announced, have won the toss, will receive. And one of the stars of this Kansas City season for Marty Schottenheimer is the rookie from Florida State, Tamarick Vanover from Florida State. He has 3 kick returns for touchdowns this year. And there's Vanover, built like a linebacker, has the speed of a defensive back. Garducki's kick is short. Vanover at the 12. Man with big feet vaults his way through tackles to the 34-yard line. Trev Alberts in on the tackle for Indianapolis. And here comes Steve Bono. His numbers dropping as the season developed, but it didn't affect Kansas City's winning record. Here are the men who will protect him. None go to the Pro Bowl, yet every man feels he's deserving. Alzot, Grunard, Shields, and Sigler. Marcus Allen, the incomparable, with Kimball Anders leading receiver. Slaughter and Davis are outside. Lake Dawson comes in the 3 wide. Bono comes out throwing. Protected well, he lobs it high, and there's no one there. Covered well, Ashley Ambrose on Webster Slaughter. Well, that's interesting, Phil Simms. They come out with a long pass. I'll get your comments in a moment. First, the defense for the Colts starters are Whittington, McCoy, and Johnson will have a lot of work today with Tony Siragusa out with the flu. Grant, Haran, and Coriat, the linebackers, the strength of that Colts defense. Buchanan and Daniel, the veteran, at the corners. Tate and Belser. Belser with 2 interceptions last week at San Diego. He's from Kansas City. And then Ashley Ambrose comes in the nickel. 2nd and 10, 2 tight ends, Walker and Cash bookend the line, and that's Cash in motion. And Marcus Allen, his first carry. He slices off the left side for about 8. Tackled by Stephen Grant. Marcus Marcus Allen, the oldest man on this Kansas City team, by far the oldest running back into the playoffs. John L. Williams is 31, and Marcus Allen is 35 years of age. What keeps him clicking?
Well, Vince Tobin gave him a great compliment yesterday. He says Marcus Allen might be the greatest runner ever in short yardage situations, and that's what he's excelled at this year.
14th year, he's never had a surgery. Well-conditioned athlete. He fakes on the draw, and the throw is complete to Slaughter. First down at the Colt 44. Grant, curling back from linebacker, made the tackle.
You know, the guy that really sets this thing up is Kimball Anders. He comes out of the backfield, and what Kimball Anders does, he gets respect because he's a great receiver. Number 38 going out to the right, and just what happens? Here's Slaughter, hooks up in the middle. You've got to cover Anders.
Well, 3rd and 4, when you're the Kansas City Chiefs, you're playing defense against them. Sometimes you got to be thinking it could be a run, and right there, Ray Buchanan giving a little bit of a cushion, could be because of that long pass we saw on first down by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Slaughter, a man who played for Marty Schottenheimer when Schottenheimer was the coach at Cleveland. First down toss, Marcus Allen cuts back and wiggles to the 41, a gain of 3. McCoy and Whittington made the tackle. It's interesting, Kansas City, the #1 rushing team in the NFL, and yet of the top 11 rushing teams, the only one without a 1,000-yard rusher.
Well, it says everything about this team right here. The best running football team in the National Football League, no 1,000-yard rusher. Well, that's where they are all across the board. Even their defense is the same way.
The distribution of the rushing yards, Allen, Hill, and Anders, and even Steve Bono. Second and a long 6. Lake Dawson enters the game. Play action by Bono. Chased by McCullough Johnson, and the throw too low for tight end Keith Cash.
Did you see that defense when he fakes that ball to Marcus Allen? The whole right side of the defense just shifts right to Marcus Allen, and there's Bono coming out to the outside. Does he look stiff?
Well, no, I thought actually the first couple of throws, I thought Steve Bono did a good job of getting rid of the ball, and it has good control of it right there. There was really nobody open. Did a good job of playing safe.
Bono told us this is his biggest game ever. Has never started a playoff game. Of course, did some mop-up duties behind Montana and Young at San Francisco. First, third, and somewhat long to face Bono. Good protection out of the backfield. Anders, and well read by Quentin Coriat, who stops him far short of the first down.
Boy, is that some solid defense right there. The Colts just drop back. They put their linebackers in front of the first down marker. They let them throw the ball to Kimball Anders, and then Quentin Coriat just makes the play.
Ball spotted at the 39, out of the field goal range of Lynn Elliott. So Louis Aguiar had a terrific year, 43.8 average, and tied for the lead in kicks inside the 20, 29 times down the ball inside the 20. Buchanan back at the 10 for Indianapolis. Sails a high spiral, and it is smothered, but then goes in the end zone. The touchback. 39 on the punt, 19 net. A flag is down at the line of scrimmage. Jerry Markbright is the referee, and it's against Kansas City, and one would guess the Colts then will take the ball on the touchback at the 20.
Ineligible receiver, downfield on the kick, number 83, penalties declined, first down.
And 64-year-old Ted Marchabrona sends Jim Harbaugh on the offense for the Colts. Get their first turn. Here in the league, James Joseph Harbaugh, former star at Michigan, accustomed to playing in cold weather. Wolford, Dixon, Loudermilk, Stasiak, and Matthews, the Colts offensive line. Lamont Warren in his second year had carried only 25 times all year before the final game. Zach Crockett, the star last week. Young running back tandem, Sean Dawkins and Floyd Turner outside. Rookie from Illinois, Ken Dilger, has been a heavy contributor this year. Staveline and Bailey in the 4 wide. Neil Smith almost offside. A heavy noise. The handoff to Crockett, who gets about 3.5 off the left side. that set this Kansas City defense, considered the best in the NFL. Smith and Saliamua will go to the Pro Bowl. Phillips and Booker complete the front four. Linebacker Derek Thomas and Dale Carter also to the Pro Bowl. Simeon's the leading tackler for the 4th straight year. Anthony Davis for the injured George Jameson. The corners Carter and Hasty. Washington and Collins are the safeties. And Bayless and White enter. They played basically almost linebacker positions in the dime. On second down, Lamont Warren with running room. Cuts back at the 30. He's all the way to the 42-yard line before Brian Washington can drag him down. 18 for Warren.
Well, when you look at this thing, I'm telling you right now, Davis gets caught on the inside, and so does Booker. When both the linebacker and the defensive end are caught inside, there's nobody to the outside to make the play. Warren just takes it right up the field and gets a first down at the 42-yard line. That's just good blocking and running.
Even the Chiefs were raving about Warren's blocking last week on that 66-yard run by Crockett. He knocked off 4 men on Crockett's touchdown run against the Chargers. First down at the 42, Dilger in motion. Warren again a huge hole, and he skids out to the 48-yard line. A gain of almost 7.
Well, watch inside of the Kansas City defense right here. Something they say they never do is pick a side as a defensive lineman. Do not give the offensive lineman a chance to drive you out of the hole. 2 big running plays, and that's what they did. They guessed where the runner was going to go. He made a little move, and that's why there were big holes.
Lamont Warren grew up in Los Angeles, where Marcus Allen was his idol. Second down and 4. Warren again, and it's crowded on that side as Booker and Saliamua block the path at the 50-yard line. Third down and 2. Ted Marchibroda, quarterback at St. Bonaventure. Team defense, when you add it all up for the whole year, Kansas City, every play allowed their opponents only 4.3 yards per try. San Francisco, second. Indianapolis was below the NFL average of 5.1 yards per play. Gunther Cunningham, he's an attack philosophy defensive coordinator. Out of the shotgun, Harbaugh the first time. Has to throw it away. Pressured by Saliamua.
Boy, I tell you, Phil, I mean, you turn those 4 guys in that defensive line, they come up, and they said before, they told us that they didn't know who they're going to double team, so they're going to try to block them singly, and that's not going to work either.
This is what makes them so good on the defensive lines. They're able to get pressure inside. That is one of the reasons why they don't worry about Jim Harbaugh scrambling, because they're going to be up the middle, Joe Phillips and Dan Saliamua.
Every kick situation, Vanover back there to return, and the Colts did not succeed well at all in covering kicks this year. They were well toward the bottom in the league, very high, and Vanover waving the fair catch right at the 20-yard line. A 30-yard punt by Chris Gardocki. You're watching the NFL on NBC. Arrowhead Stadium, 6 minutes played, each team with a possession, moved the ball, and then punted. First down, Kansas City at their own 20-yard line. Colts defense without big Tony Siragusa and a Kansas City hotel room suffering from the flu. Big hole for Kimball Landry. Cuts back and is dropped at the 28-yard line by David Tate, the strong safety. Chiefs this year a rushing team, and how it has changed here. Remember, Paul Hackett and Montana and Allen came in '93 when they moved to 20th, then last year to 11th, and this year the top rushing team in the NFL.
Ground Paul, that's it right there. And
there he is.
Paul Hackett says, make no bones about it, we are a running football team. And he used to be known as Paul Pass Hackett, but he can't say that anymore. They are a running team and very good at it.
Second and short with Davis in motion, and the give to Marcus Allen. He has the first down to the 33-yard line. Tony McCoy down low to make the tackle.
You know, Vince Tobin told us about Marcus Allen, and he said one other thing about him: the best third down runner or short yardage runner in the game in the history, as long as he's ever seen him. He says he runs behind the pads. By that he means he lines up on his linemen and he waits for their blocks. He is a very, very patient runner. This man waits for holes to open up, and the other thing about him that he always does, he always falls forward.
Allen in playoff action, third all time behind Franco Harris and Tony Dorsett in yards rushing. Guns downfield, incomplete. to play a big part in the offensive scheme today. The tight end was second on the Chiefs roster this year with 42 catches.
Well, it was an excellent job by the Indianapolis defense. They were guessing pass right here. David Tate, the strong safety, stays back and just waits for the tight end to come right to him, and he had good coverage. That's one of the reasons why Keith Cash couldn't come down with it.
Bono 2 for 4, 2 for 5 now with that pass, 14 yards. Here's Allen. Working that great vision of his, sees the opening, slashes through, a gain of 7. Allen now with 24 yards rushing on 4 carries.
This is what I'm talking about. When you see Marcus Allen, watch what he just does things so much better than anybody else.
Well, he played at the Coliseum as a collegiate. Marcus, Heisman Trophy winner at the LA Coliseum, playing for the USC Trojans. Career 8th all-time, nearly 11,000. 125 touchdowns, 3rd all-time. And this year became the first ever 5,000 receiving yards and 10,000 rushing yards. He stuffed this time and may have fumbled the way they're scrambling, and the Colts say they have the football. No action yet by the officials at the 42-yard line.
They can't say he was down because he was on top of people and his knee did not hit the ground.
And the signal is 4th down. So the Chiefs recovered. Jeff Harrod, who was only 6 feet tall, but 245, the middle linebacker, made the hit.
Here's where they stuffed Marcus. He's going in the hole. Quentin Corey at 55 is sliding down, and then Harrod, number 54, comes in. There's the ball on the ground.
Does come out. That's right.
And Marcus doesn't get it.
Ashley Ambrose almost got it, but the big lineman, it might have been Gronard that picked it off. Aguiar, dying spiral. Buchanan at the 24. Spun around, gains his balance, crushed at the 28-yard line, flag down. 34-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the preliminary signal is against the Chiefs.
Eagle man downfield again. That's 2 in a row. I mean, that'll drive a special teams coach nuts.
That's that adrenaline working, playoff adrenaline, getting out of the box too soon.
Well, so let me explain it to you. There's only 2 guys that can leave before the ball is kicked.
Eligible receiver downfield, number 79. Offense, penalty decline, 1st down.
Yep. I'll get back, but I'll tell you what happens on this thing.
Dave Zott was premature in his release. 6 to go. Zott ineligible downfield. He wasn't on the field. It was Danny Villa, the punter, who released too quickly. Here come the Colts. 1st down at their own at 29. Harbaugh to throw. His receiver knocked down, and then he throws to Warren, and a flag is down as Warren is out of bounds at the 39-yard line. 2 receivers in the same area, one knocked down by Hasty, and holding is the call against Kansas City.
Yeah, James Hasty tried to grab the wide receiver, fell down, and really almost was fortunate enough for the ball to come right at him. But the reason he was down on the ground is he tried to put a shot on the wide receiver, missed him, and
holding number 40, defense. Penalty is declined, 1st down.
Sean Dawkins, number 87. Watch this here. This. That's holding.
That's plastering.
Yeah,
that's plastering. That's right. And here you can see the coach taking advantage of the success they've had early, running the football, the play action pass there. Nobody gets near Jim Harbaugh, and Lamar Warren is wide open in the flat.
Good for 11 yards and a 1st down at the 40. No score. 5.5 minutes left in the opening quarter. Dumps it off to Crockett, and he pays the price as Tracy Simeon makes that big hit, and Simeon promised he'd be waiting for Crockett.
Well, he said yesterday, Tracy Simeon, he said, here's a guy that made the Hall of Fame in 1 game. We're going to knock him out of the Hall of Fame this week. And he's talking about Zach Crockett. Watch this hit by number 54, Tracy Simeon. Ball's there. Crockett's gone. What a great play. That was a 1-yard gain.
And not to Canton yet after 1 game on the Simeon. He's the old helmet cam player with a Montreal machine of the World League.
That was a great line, though. He made the Hall of Fame in 1 game and knocked him out of it.
Progress. They give him a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 for Harbaugh. Some play action. He's got time. Now the scramble. And Harbaugh dives to the 49 of the Chiefs. First down. Derek Thomas in pursuit.
Phil, excellent blocking by the offensive line and then good coverage downfield.
Excellent coverage downfield, and Jim Harbaugh really could find nobody downfield to throw the football to. And here you're going to see James Hastings on Sean Dawkins. Got his hands all over him, but right there, stride for stride. That's the person he wanted to throw it to. He was not open, but the defensive lineman got out of their lanes, let him scramble up the middle.
Colts in Chiefs territory for the first time. Crockett, 240-pound fullback to the 47-yard line. Zach Crockett, his brother's the middle linebacker at Florida State, made a big fumble recovery against Notre Dame in the Bowls. He's from Pompano Beach, Florida, and he said he grew up as a big fan of the Bears and Walter Payton. And
it was interesting what he said about Walter Payton. It just shows you kids watch sports people on TV and admire him. He says, I started doing his workouts, running up hills, backwards and forwards, and not a bad person to emulate Walter Payton.
2nd and 7. Harbaugh looks for the quickie. It's batted in the air, incomplete. And Anthony Davis was close to intercepting, number 50.
Well, right there, the Kansas City Chiefs came with an all-out blitz, and a good job of the defensive lineman seeing the quick drop by Jim Harbaugh. Watch here, you're going to see Tracy Simeon, everybody, Anthony Davis come inside. The Colts do a good job of picking it up, but Jim Harbaugh reads it, wants to get rid of the ball quickly.
Joe Phillips was the man who got a hand on it. Harbaugh, 3rd and 7. Tough to audible here. Harbaugh alertly falls on the ball. Neil Smith was there for Kansas City. The crowd part of that miscue.
Well, Kurt Loudermilk as a center that snapped the ball over his head. But, Phil, when I looked at the defensive linemen, they had 9 men on the line of scrimmage. Here goes the ball up over Harbaugh's head. And here's something, a coaching point. This is smart. Fall on the ball. There's a lot of game to be played. Don't try to pick that thing up and run with it.
Right there, the ball looked like to me it was just snapped a little too hard, and Jim Harbaugh could not get a handle on it.
20-yard loss, so Gardocki in to punt again. The left footer delivers an end-over-end to Vanover. Dangerous Tamari to the 35. Twisted down at the 38-yard line. 38-yard punt. 9 on the return.
Then someone said, instead of just 6-packs, how about 12-packs of this smooth brew? And then a cry went out across the land for 24-pack cases. So now, no one else stacks up to Ice Brewed Ice House. Thanks and enjoy.
I've been waiting for this moment for all my life.
For Grant Hill, his moment approaches when he leads the Pistons against the Bulls and Michael Jordan for the first time before a national audience. Just part of an NBA on NBC doubleheader, January 21st.
Welcome back. Just under 3 left in this scoreless first quarter. Kirk Loudermilk, that snap, and with a frozen ball, that's like a big rock shooting by you.
That's right. It'll slip right through those fingers, and that's really kind of what happened to Jim Harbaugh on that quarterback snap there.
Vanover's return positions Bono and the Chiefs at their 38. Marcus. Nearly 5 on the play onto the 43.
I know every time we do this, we talk about Marcus so many times, but he's done so many good things. But you take a look at that play there, just looked like a simple handoff up the middle, Dick, and he picks up 5 yards.
Doug Terry, when Marcus came here 3 years ago, was wearing number 32, and Marcus said, hey, that's my number. And Terry did a little negotiating, and Marcus gave him $100 a digit. $3,200 it cost Marcus to get his 32 back.
Terry sold it cheap. He could have gotten more. I know Marcus.
He wish he was number 99, that's all.
Second and 5, and Allen high-stepping his way off the left side to the 45-46. It'll be 3rd down and about 2.5 for the Chiefs.
Well, the Chiefs, the first time they had 3rd and 4, they threw the football. Then they had 3rd and 3, they ran it. So it's a good question. What will they do right now? 3rd and 2.5 or 3rd and 3?
As the Colts were hoping to keep Marty Schottenheimer 3rd and 6 or longer. On 3rd and 2, they made it earlier, the Chiefs. Then on 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 3, they failed. This is their 4th shot at 3rd down. And they send Marcus in motion. Bono on the roll. hits Andrews. First down at the 49 of the Colts.
That was just a good example of what the fullback means to a system here in Kansas City. And Paul Hackett and his system is that you have to be able to catch the football out of the backfield. And Kimber Andrews right here. This is not an easy catch. A little behind him and high, reaches up and makes a big first down for the Kansas City Chiefs.
An interesting thing that time, they put Marcus Allen in motion, and they brought him out in the flat, but about 10 yards deeper than Kimball Andrews. They also had Vanover about 20 yards beyond him, and then threw to the short man.
Kansas City loves to throw the ball short on 3rd and 5. And that's why Indianapolis wants to get them in 3rd and 7+.
Andrews out. Allen at tailback. Bono to throw on first down. Incomplete, and the flag is thrown. Interference by Ashley Ambrose.
Ashley Ambrose just got there a little bit too soon. I mean, he was playing the ball. He was playing the play exactly the way you're supposed to, but the ball didn't get there.
Pass interference. Number 33, defense. Automatic first down.
He had such a great game last week, didn't he, Phil?
Oh, him and Ray Buchanan both were so aggressive. And right there, he reads the quarterback. He does everything perfect. He just puts that left hand on the helmet of Blake Dawson. Watch it. Right there. He's driving on the football, and if that ball would have been thrown a little more outside, he would have picked it up.
Or a little sooner.
Or a little sooner. Or harder.
Or went to Jerry Rice University, Mississippi Valley State.
That's right.
13-yard penalty, first down at the 37. Flags fly. Bono throws wide open as Allen. It's at the 20-yard line. Takes a hit from Jason Belser. It appeared that one of the Colts leaned offside.
The Colts were offside, but I would tell you one thing about Marcus Allen when he caught the ball. He braced himself to get hit. When Marcus caught the ball, he knew.
Number 55, defense. Penalties decline. First down.
Went Corey out offside, but Marcus Allen knew he was going to get hit. As soon as he caught the ball, Phil, he was ready to take the blow.
Well, watch right here. Look over here. You're going to see the linebackers come up. They see the play-action fake, and that's why there's such a big void behind the linebackers and in front of the safeties. And Marcus Allen, doing a good job of reading them, slows down so he doesn't take the big hit.
16 yards as the Chiefs take the play. First down at the Colts 20. This is the most serious threat of the opening quarter down to the final seconds. Bono looking for 6. End zone touchdown, Blake Dawson.
Excellent throw by Steve Bono and a good adjustment by Blake Dawson right there. Steve Bono does a good job of seeing that he's covered, but David Tate had his back to the quarterback. He threw it to the back shoulder and really makes it an easy touchdown for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Try for point by Lynn Elliott, who had a slump late in the year. Missed 3 extra points. Knocks this one home. And the Chiefs have the first score on a 20-yard touchdown. They kick it off. Very high and short. Ronald Humphrey at the 22. Through those cold hands, and then he has to eat it at the 23. Covered by veteran Barton Bayless. Well, that's how Jim Harbaugh must have felt about that snap. Third rock from the sun. You've been hearing all about it. And on Tuesday, NBC, it's finally here. They sure look human, but don't be fooled. Their mission on Earth, live like we live and try to fit in. John Lithgow and Jane Curtin lead the laugh. Third rock from the sun lands this week, Tuesday night.
My hometown. Third rock from the sun.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah. I came down 2 years ago.
Yeah, I can believe you're an alien.
With 21 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Jim Harbaugh goes to work at the 23.
He's got to throw more.
Warren, a good receiver out of the backfield. Draw to Crockett. That was the big play against the Chargers, but the Chiefs have it well scouted.
Boy, Joe Phillips, what a nice job he did. He just came right up, straight up field, and there was just no chance of blocking him.
And that'll be the final play of this opening quarter. The field now in complete shadows, and the temperature drops near 0 at Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs 7, the Colts nothing after 1. feel better when you know exactly what the temperature is. 1 degree above zero.
That's a huge wristwatch.
Second down, 11 for Harbaugh and the Colts as we open the second quarter. And Lamont Warren tripped up, no gain. Joe Phillips down low to make the play for the Chiefs.
Derek Thomas does a great job. He just comes upfield and takes on 2 people on the play. He takes on Crockett on one side and Will Wolford, who is the tackle. And when he disrupts that, it enables everybody to get there. Watch 58 come up the field. There's Wolford and there's Crockett. He takes both guys on. Bang. Play goes nowhere.
Derek Thomas on his way to his 7th consecutive Pro Bowl. 3rd and long. Hand signals by Harbaugh, and this noise. How'd he get out of that? Now he's got some running room. And Harbaugh has a first down at the 37. Captain comeback at work again.
And Neil Smith is down in the backfield. Dan Saliamua, what a great rush. He's got Harbaugh, 97. Look at Saliamua being held at the line of scrimmage. And Neil Smith goes down and gets kneed in the head by Saliamua.
Well, as you can see, look, there's no defensive backs or linebackers really in the picture right there. And Jim Harbaugh on 3rd down, when the Kansas City Chiefs play that man coverage down the field, if he breaks that pocket, he's going to be able to run untouched for quite a while.
Smith a little wobbly as he comes off after the 18-yard scramble by Harbaugh, who's now rushed 3 times for 26 yards.
He looked like he just got kneed directly in the head by his own man, Saliamua, as Harbaugh broke. Boy, Harbaugh is strong.
He is.
What a year.
Big and fast.
6'3" and 215 is Harbaugh. On 3rd and 11, gives his team a first down. Crockett. They got his number today, a gain of 1. Let's go back to see just how Neil Smith was injured.
Well, you know, they're rushing the quarterback, and Neil Smith, and what happens is, watch him, he slips, so he's in a position where he really can't defend himself. Here he comes up the field on Harbaugh. Now watch him slip here, and when he does, here comes Saliamua, comes back, and I'm going to tell you something, folks. We saw Saliamua's thighs and knees in a meeting earlier this year, and I'm going to tell you, each one of his legs weigh 150 pounds.
He's a concrete worker in Phoenix at one time, and that's what those legs look like. 2nd and 9. Harbaugh incomplete. And a flag down. The ball went to Kip Vickers, an offensive lineman. Wasn't trying to catch it, but that Harbaugh trying to ground the ball, get rid of it, hit a lineman.
This rule is, Phil, you can't even hit a lineman with the ball. Is that correct?
That's right. You cannot hit the lineman, and it's a good call right here because there are no receivers anywhere in the
illegal touching of a forward pass, number 71, offense. The penalty is loss of down. It's 3rd down.
I can hear Vickers now. I didn't mean to. I didn't want to.
You can see it's 2nd down right here in the rush, and Jim Harbaugh just doing a good job of trying to get rid of the football, but no receiver for the Indianapolis Colts anywhere in the picture. Has to be illegal.
There's no yardage penalty. It's just the loss of down. It's an incomplete pass.
Something interesting. Every time it's 2nd down and over 7 or 8 yards, the Kansas City Chiefs are bringing in an extra defensive back and just playing pass all the way.
If they're doing that, you're going to have to keep that one linebacker, Anthony Davis, at home for Harbaugh.
Harbaugh down the middle, complete, and a first down to Aaron Bailey, the 2nd-year receiver from Louisville. 13-yard gain.
That time, Paul, you're talking about keeping somebody on defense to watch Harbaugh. Right here is Martin Bayless. Try to watch him as the Kansas City defense plays pass, and look at him just mirroring Jim Harbaugh standing right there. If he comes out of the pocket, they said they wouldn't put a spy on it, but he's hurt him already. Look at 21, Martin Bayless right there. And a good job by Aaron Bailey running straight across the field, and an excellent throw by Jim Harbaugh.
That's at Lindy and Fonte teaching to throw the ball low for your receiver over the middle. Fake the Warren, roll by Harbaugh, going long for Floyd Turner, intercepted, and then dropped by Carter. No interception, did not maintain possession.
I cannot believe with that official down there that they don't throw a flag on Bailey. That was offensive pass interference. At the end of that play, when that ball's in there, watch the left arm of Bailey. Right there. He's pushing off. Now his right arm, he pushes off with his left arm. That should have been offensive pass interference. And then Dale Carter, what a great play. Oh, I'm sorry, Floyd Turner.
Floyd Turner, yeah. Dale Carter, I'll tell you, one thing you don't want to do, Paul, and everybody we've talked to when they play the Kansas City Chiefs, don't try to pick on Dale Carter.
Yeah, no, he's
a big hitter, good cover man, and usually intercepts the ball when he has a chance.
Led the Chiefs at 4. Give to Crockett. Well, he runs hard and has to work to get 5 yards, plowing through the middle. Tracy Simeon there to make the stop. It'll be 3rd down and 5. On come 2 wide receivers, Bailey and Stabline. So Ted Marchibroda works with a 4-wide offense.
Well, good job by Indianapolis right there, 2nd and long. Kansas City's been playing pass in those situations. They changed up and ran the football, and now got it down to 3rd down where they have a chance to throw something short and don't have to go down the field.
3rd and a long 4 as they mark it at the 42. Underneath, it'll be close to a 1st down to Sean Dawkins, his first catch today. Number 1 pick a couple of years ago from the University of California.
Got to get to the 37 or across it.
And Mark Reich marks time, injury timeout, as James Hasty made the tackle on Dawkins.
Yeah, it looked like Brian Washington was reading the quarterback. He saw there was going to be a quick throw and really came up in there and trying to break up the play.
This could be a very tough injury for the Colts because basically they just have the 4 wide receivers.
What's right here? You see Sean Dawkins, and you're going to see Brian Washington, number 48, come flying up in here right there, and you can see his knee hits the top of the receiver's helmet.
Hasty tackle. Brian Washington, the former New York Jet, teaming up in the stop. They'll measure for the 1st down. We'll give you that result when we return to Arrowhead. Welcome back to Arrowhead Stadium in frozen Kansas City. 11 minutes left in the 1st half. Chiefs by 7, and the Colts are going to go for it on 4th and inches at the Kansas City 37. Tight formation. 2 tight ends, both Banta and Gilger on the right side. Banta in motion. Warren has the 1st down. Simeon, the tackler, at the 35-yard line.
You know, Phil, I'll tell you, I really like this play. Instead of the quarterback sneak where so many different things could happen, they give the ball to Warren and they let him get outside with there's nobody there.
I was worried, Paul, that, if they ran a quarterback sneak with the strength inside of Salamu and Phillips, it's hard to do it. They do a good job going up the middle, breaking it outside. Good job by Lamont Warren.
All right, baby. Teddy.
64-year-old Ted Marchibroda, 2 tenures with the Colts. This is his 9th year total.
I'm taking credit for that T-shirts coming out. Let it rip.
Yeah, that's all mine. The theme.
They're mine.
Harbaugh steps away from Thomas, but then is caught by the ankles underneath as Vaughn Booker makes the play. Number 99.
You just saw, Dick, how fast Derek Thomas really is and what confusion he gives the offensive back. Crockett tries to step up and block him, and Derek Thomas is already by him. Watch this guy's speed. Fake inside, back to the outside. Crockett's right there. He forces Harbaugh up inside, and then, bam, the tackle. Vaughn Booker.
Excellent job by Vaughn Booker, keeping his eye on the quarterback and working down the line and getting the sack.
Loss of 3 on the play. Warren finds some daylight to the 31-yard line where it will be 3rd down and 6. Jim Gray, what's the condition of Neil Smith?
Well, Dick, he suffered a mild head trauma. The doctors and the trainers are looking him over right now. They are very questionable about his return. They don't think it's a very serious concussion, but a mild head trauma. Dick?
All right, thanks, Jim. As they continue to observe the all-pro defensive end of the Chiefs. Vaughn Booker replacing him makes a big stop.
Jim Gray with Lamont Cranston's hat.
It's a fedora. Fedora. Shadow. 3rd down, short 7. Shotgun Harbaugh. Underneath, and the catch by Dawkins, who was not seriously hurt, and he has a first down. Hasty gets him to the frozen turf at the Kansas City 22-yard line. They
Phil, you said plaster the receivers. That means stay on them.
Stay on
yeah,
him.
He's
well,
on them.
He's right there, but there's really nothing you can do right here. Sean Dawkins, a big receiver, and when the quarterback puts it in the only spot where he's open, there's nothing the defensive back can do. James Hasty right there.
Down and away. Throw the ball down and away.
6'4" and 211, as you can see. Dawkins. Good drive for Harbaugh and the Colts. Now Warren up the middle inside the 20-yard line. Anthony Davis and Tracy Simeon in on the stop.
Lindy Infante was telling us when we did the Colts, and Harbaugh told us, he said, the one thing that Lindy has really taught him, and again, we saw it on that pass play, and you said something earlier about it, Phil, that throw the ball, he never heard it before, throw the ball down and away. That means down low at the knees of the receiver and away from the defensive back, and he does it very well.
Inside, so it doesn't get tipped up for interceptions. That's the main key. When you throw it inside, throw it low.
15th play of the drive. And second down and a short 7. Harbaugh wide open and dropping the ball is Zach Crockett. That was a first down and possibly first and goal for Crockett.
Well, it's an excellent job by the Indianapolis Colts of selling out the run right there, and you're going to see the good fake Lamont Warren and Anthony Davis. He bites run all the way. Look at him right there. That's why nobody is covering Zach Crockett out in the flat. He had a chance to score, and Jim Harbaugh knows that they fooled the defense and got nothing out of it.
Well, when you set up a play like this and you know it's got to work, it's going to work for at least a first down, possibly a touchdown, you've got to catch the ball.
To the end zone. Incomplete to Sean Dawkins. And a flag is down.
A lot of bumping over there. Looks like James Hasty being very aggressive, and he was 15 or 20 yards down the field, still pushing on the receiver.
The penalty flag is at the 4-yard line, where there was contact on the far sidelines between Hasty, the Chiefs cornerback, and Dawkins.
Pass interference, number 40, defense. Automatic first down.
First and
everybody
goal.
else kind of complains a little bit except for Hasty.
Well, the one thing right up here, you're going to see Sean Dawkins and James Hasty. And watch them when they go down the field. Hasty, who loves to jam the receiver right there. Now he's past 5. You got to get your hands off. He hits him again, and it was a good call by the official.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Well, all of the pass interference occurred way back up the field because the official was right there. You remember now, folks, you can only touch him supposedly within the 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
The one thing I've noticed so far in the game, even though it's in the second quarter, they tried Dale Carter on the right side one time, but every pass since then it looks like they're working towards James Hasty.
8th best in the league in converting touchdowns once inside the opponent's 20-yard line, the Colts. And there's the Frank Lloyd Wright of offensive coordinators, Lindy Infante.
I'll tell you, Lindy Infante had a great game himself last week as play calling. He's really continued again this week. He's found a few little spots that he can work on the Kansas City defense, and he's doing a good job of keep coming back with the plays.
First and goal from the 5 as the Colts try to tie it up. 8-minute drive for Indianapolis. Warren. No good. Derek Thomas and Brian Washington there to stop the play.
I'll tell you, these Colt fans are here in the 10s. You know that? They're like 10 or 12 here, 10 or 12 there. Derek Thomas, I mean, he loves the big game. He's going to the Pro Bowl. And look at this play here. That's Pro Bowl.
And Derek Thomas playing on the line of scrimmage today because George Jamison is out with injury. So they think Derek Thomas is at his best when he is on the line of scrimmage.
Tough to score in the Chiefs rushing. Only 7 rushing scores all year. Play action. Crockett can't handle this one either. This was a tougher chance.
Well, this was behind him, Dick, and thrown too hard for Crockett. But, again, he's the quarterback, Harbaugh, and he's got to get the ball there before the defensive guy does, but he throws the ball behind.
Well, it's a good job of play action again by the Colts and Jim Harbaugh. The ball gets tipped, and that's the reason it's behind Zach Crockett right there. And Ted Marchibroda goes, 2 2 chances we've had maybe to get this ball in the end zone and missed them both.
That's about as emotional as Marcia Broda will get.
Now they throw the ball to number 21.
Neil Smith has returned for Kansas City. Turner in motion, and Harbaugh calls time. The play clock had all but been consumed, so it's 7-0, and the Colts still at the 5. Close to 80,000 at Arrowhead, and you said the Colt fans are here by the tens. Where are they seated? Well, let's just take a look. Way up, that's the South Pole.
Yeah, that's right.
The South Pole of Arrowhead.
Can you imagine those fans that get a lot of those tickets from the players? Everybody always thinks the players get such good tickets. Well, that's where they usually are, in the end zone all the way to the top.
And then the next day you get a phone call. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
This is the 18th play of the drive. 3rd and goal at the 5 for Harbaugh and the Colts as they endeavor to tie. Turner, the motion man. He's the target. Touchdown. Floyd Turner.
Man, was that easy. That was easy.
I have to give it's the design of the play was so good. It just the Kansas City Chiefs, I think they lost sight of Floyd Turner because he came in motion, turned around. I thought he was going to block. He goes out in the flat, nobody there to cover him.
You know, the nice part about this whole thing too, Dick, is that they're running out of time, so they took a timeout. They didn't rush your play. Harbaugh takes a timeout, go to the sideline, and get a play. Don't waste the opportunity.
It was the same play again too, Paul. They repeated what they were going to try to do the first time.
Terry Blanchard to join the team after the first month of the season when they cut Mike Kofer, adds the extra point, and with 6:49 left in the half, we're tied at 7. On drive of 77 yards and 18 plays has tied it for the Colts.
Up top you have Floyd Turner. Watch, he's going to come in motion, come back here. What's the defense? Everybody just loses sight of him once he comes in motion. I think they think he's going to stop and block. Instead, the ball is snapped, he releases. The defense all falls back in the end zone. Easy touchdown for the Indianapolis Colts.
Well, that is too easy. Paul McGuire.
Oh, I mean, unbelievable.
Gardocki, high but short. And out comes Leroy Thompson with a return to the 39-yard line.
You're playing defense for the Kansas City Chiefs, and watch right here to the right of your screen. You see the defensive backs. Look, they all react inside. Nobody stays outside to cover Floyd Turner.
And Jim Harbaugh, who indeed has had the season, a dream season with the Colts. Not the starter. You know the story well. Craig Erickson was traded for by Coach Ted Marcia-Broda. Started the first 2 games, and both games Harbaugh came in and rallied the team. One almost victory, and then another that he did win, and the job was his.
It all started with that big scramble on 3rd down, too.
Bono wants to go long, and he goes deep. Davis incomplete. Davis, who has the best speed of those wide receivers for Kansas City, had a step on Ray Buchanan and David Tate.
Well, we were talking to the guys yesterday, and Belzer and a few of the other guys said the one thing about Bono that he can't do is throw deep. Well, he just threw this ball over 50 yards. That's deep.
That's deep. Well, yeah, when they said that, I did not. Of course, I know better. I've seen him many times, and he can throw deep. Right there, he would have been better served just to put a little more air under, give his receiver a chance to run underneath it.
There are the numbers on Bono. Each quarterback with a touchdown throw. Tanner with a rookie to the left, but they give it to Marcus Allen. Slams out, and a big hit at the 46 from Coriat and Tate. Gain of 8 on the play.
Marcus Allen, and you know, again, we talked at the beginning about the guts of this team. It's their offensive line. Look at the hole here. Marcus Allen, when he's through, he's finally hit, but he's already 5 yards downfield when he gets hit. He falls forward, picks up the other 3. Man.
3rd down and 2. Into the eyes of Allen will be 36 in March. Here's that short yardage. Big lean and an easy first down at the Colts 48.
Dick, you see the lean. You were sitting there watching. We're right in front of us, and this is what we're talking about. Marcus Allen. He always falls forward. He goes with the pads. Here he comes. Now watch him when he gets to the hole. He knows he needs 3 yards at least. Now watch the lean. Here's the lean forward. That's easy.
5:29.
Well, if you have those guys blocking in front of you, it's easy.
47 yards rushing, 16 on one catch for Marcus Allen. Fake to Marcus Allen, and Bono sets up, throws incomplete to Lake Dawson, covered by Quentin Corio.
Oh, he had Keith Cash wide open underneath if he throws it in.
Well, it really is a good job, in my opinion, on Steve Bono right there. You're going to see the tight end here come across, and then the wide receiver is going to come across, and he decides to go up the field to try to get the bigger gain. Keith Cash is the first receiver coming here, but I think he makes a good decision. Goes over the top, but plays it safe, throws it out in front. Lake Dawson cannot make the good catch.
He did throw to the wide open man. Dawson was there.
Marcus Allen is slotted out to the left side. Two wide receivers to the right, and Derek Walker, the tight end, in motion. And the give is to Kimball Anders, and reading it well, Bernard Whittington, the 278-pound defensive end from Indiana University.
Kimball Anders is trying to follow Ricky Ziegler, number 66, coming out, but Ziegler got tied up, and Kimball Anders got tied up behind him and couldn't make the cut.
Third down and a long 8 for Kansas City. Whittington, a fine piano player, well enough that he plays in club work and
played in the lobby last night. As soon as they got to the hotel, he just goes straight to the piano.
Picked up about $70
Yeah.
tips.
But not from you.
That's right.
Davis in motion on 3rd and long. Bono, good protection, throws over the head of Davis, incomplete. Ambrose, Ashley Avery Ambrose, the AAA cornerback of the Colts, was there on the coverage.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs very worried about the blitzes of the Indianapolis Colts, and right then they came in with a 3-down lineman. They dropped 8 people back in coverage, and really there was nowhere for Steve Bono to throw the ball except out of bounds.
Ambrose feeling his, not his oats, his crayfish, huh? Crawfish. Friday night. They had
Paul knew all about him. Yeah.
Man, I love crawfish.
Aguiar to punt. Buchanan back at the 10. High, short. Buchanan fair catch at the 20-yard line. Now the Colts have the ball. Plenty of time left in the half. 4 minutes, 20 seconds.
Look at this. This is water for the players. You know the funny thing about it? This guy's chopping eggs. Look at the guy on the right. He's still filling up the cups. Hey, and they're just going to freeze.
It is right at 0 or below. Chill factor around 15 below. 7-7 the score. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the first half. The winner to meet Pittsburgh for the AFC title. Harbaugh trapped in the backfield. Fumbles, and it's recovered by the Colts. It appeared that Will Wolford, the veteran tackle from Vanderbilt, was in the right spot for Indianapolis. Neil Smith in there to rip it away from Harbaugh.
Well, Neil Smith has that extra half second to get to the quarterback because it's excellent coverage down the field. Watch him right there working on Matthews. Comes around the corner and keeps hustling and gets that right hand in there and knocks the ball out.
He's good at that. He led the team with 12 sacks and 5 forced fumbles this year. Has 53 sacks in the last 4 years. That's best in the league. Tripped up is Lamont Warren. He fumbled momentarily, and it was Phillips and Smith again.
Oh, Joe Phillips, I mean, just comes down the line. I mean, he's headed right for actually they're headed for the quarterback. Because Sally Moore Phillips told us before that this defense is designed to go to the quarterback. And if they're running the ball on the way, we just pick up the run. Well, he picks up Lamont Warren and knocks him down for a loss. That's just outstanding defensive play.
I like what they say. Maul the person in front of you to get to the backfield, the running back or the quarterback.
Pretty good artwork here on the man who's a lawyer in the offseason, Joe Phillips. 3rd and 15. Harbaugh deep down the middle, incomplete. Aaron Bailey, the intended receiver. It would have been enough for a first down. Brian Washington covered, and the fans cheer the defense.
You know, these are very intelligent fans, Dick, because when the Colts have the ball, they're yelling and screaming. And when Kansas City gets this ball back, just notice, folks, how quiet it is in here. They all shut up. In the 16 or 17 people here from Indianapolis, they're not making any noise anyway.
So 3 and out, and that'll give Kansas City some time to try to break the tie with 2:48 left in the half. Gardocki. High, wobbler, Vanover, near midfield, 50, and fumbles the ball, and the Colts recover at the 45-yard line. Ray McElroy, and Damon Watts were there for Indianapolis.
That's just an excellent job by the Indianapolis Colts punt team. They come down and they are spread all the way across the field. And once Demeric Vanover, when he takes it up the field, about 4 or 5 Colts are right there, nowhere to go. A hard hit, and Ray McElroy recovers the fumble.
You know, you said something when we were in a break that is really true. Phil, when he said, you know, last week when the Colts played San Diego, that every time San Diego did something, the Colts responded to it.
And the Colts have taken advantage when they've won the turnover battle 8-0, including their win last week against San Diego. And they were second to Kansas City in the AFC this year in that turnover statistic that probably correlates to victory about as strongly as any stat that we acknowledge.
You know, Dick, the other thing, too, on that drive of the Colts, now Harbaugh fumbles once, Warren fumbles once, 2 fumbles that they get back, and then they punt the ball and Vanover fumbles and they take it away. You get a feeling that things may be going the Colts' way.
2:37 left in the half. First down, Indianapolis at their 45. Chiefs would have had great field position, but Vanover fumbles. Smith was offside, as you saw. Free play? No. They're going to whistle it dead, and that may mean that Dilger pulled Smith offside. And, of course, Smith is known to have one of the better flinch moves in the league.
False start, number 85, offense, prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty, first down.
The rookie Dilger, tight end. Ken Dilger, who one of the thrills of his youth in high school down in southern Indiana was to go to Morehead State to the Phil Simms quarterback school.
Kid said it cost him $200.
Yeah.
Phil's telling us, well, you know, I pay for all the kids. He paid $200. Where's the money?
Dilger came over the camp, and immediately they made him a tight end.
That's right.
You're a great teacher.
That's right.
You know, you looked a little thinner there, too.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing. I just saw you looked a little thinner.
He got more muscular as he became a professional.
Right.
Kind of like you, Paul.
Yeah, you got.
That's right. For working out every day.
Well, look at Ken Dilger right there, how thin he is. And we saw him a few days ago when we were doing San Diego, and he's 250 pounds now, all built up. And
been a pretty good player for them as a rookie. And it's been a good tight end year. There were 12 tight ends picked in the draft, and all 12 stayed with their teams this 95 season. And Dilger, one of the real contributors.
Oh, yeah, he really is a nice young man. It was a pleasure talking to him last week.
You get those farm kids from southern Indiana, it's tough to find a bad one. Jerry Markbright going to add a second to the clock.
That'll take about 4 minutes.
Already done. 2:35 left in this crowd, trying to create as much noise as they can.
Well, you can't hear anybody clapping because everybody has gloves on, so that eliminates that. Now they just have to yell.
First and 15. The Colts have 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Out of the backfield of Crockett. Catches this one and can't get out of the diving tackle of Anthony Davis at the 43.
That is an excellent play by Davis. You know, he comes up, keeps Crockett in his sights, and then makes the play for about a 3-yard gain on the play. But that's a hard. You've got the guy out in space. You've got the runner knowing where he's going with the ball. And you have a linebacker out there that gets himself in a football position and makes the play.
Harbaugh looking at the clock, and he'll just let it wind down to the 2-minute timeout. Davis from the University of Utah, one of the biggest of surprises on this Kansas City team this year. 2 minutes left in the half. Back to the frozen environs here in Kansas City, Missouri. And a reminder that coming up at halftime, it's the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Should be plenty to chew on Back at NBC Studios in New York. We'll give you the lineup in a moment. Harbaugh stares at second and long. Draw to Warren. Can't get away from Derek Thomas.
You know, I just looked at that defense again. It's that 8-man front where they're all along man-to-man, and then Martin Bayless, he sneaks up, and his man is Lamont Warren, because I watched him eye-to-eye with him, eyeball, and then Derek Thomas gets outside. Stasiak can't block him, and look at the strength of Derek Thomas.
Well, the Kansas City coaches told us yesterday, there's Derek Thomas, and pretty good picture of him, that he is definitely, really what he is a down lineman. They've been playing him as a linebacker most of the year, off the line of scrimmage. Today he's on the line of scrimmage and being quite a force.
Kansas City spends the timeout. Each team has 2 remaining in the half. And here's our lineup for the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. For Indianapolis at their 41-yard line, technically, just across the 40. Harbaugh, crowd on its feet. Here they come. Harbaugh underneath, hits Bailey, and Bailey breaks a tackle. Runs into his own man, now has another blocker, and a first down at the 34-yard line. Aaron Bailey, one of the young players developing this year in the Colts organization. He's a second-year free agent from Louisville.
Well, Kansas City takes a chance. Look right here. You're going to see the blitz by their defense. Gives single coverage down the field, and Aaron Bailey does an excellent job of just running away from Dale Carter. Dale Carter, you're going to see right here, he makes the catch. Now he's going to go for the strip and try to take the ball out of his hands and lets him pick up the first down. And if Mark Collins is not hustling, it could have been a touchdown.
Gain of 25 to the Kansas City 35-yard line, where a timeout is called with 1:35 remaining. We believe it's against the timeout was spent by the Colts.
Isn't that amazing? It was a third down play, and Kansas City takes a timeout because they want to get the ball with as close to 2 minutes as they possibly can get. And here come the Colts back, pick up the first down. They take a timeout.
Well, right there, Dale Carter was close enough to Aaron Bailey. If he just tackles him, he's going to be short of the first down. Instead, it looks like he went for the strip or to take the ball away and enabled Aaron Bailey to make a big play out of it.
We should make one other point, gentlemen, and that is in watching in warm-ups with the cold and the wind, any field goal attempt from outside the 40-yard line is an adventure. So you've got to get down deep to really be thinking seriously of making a 3.
Yeah, right from here, Dick, it'll be about 52 yards, and I don't think either one of these guys can make it from that distance in this weather.
We're almost going to have to be inside the 25. Harbaugh stepping up. Here he goes, scrambling for 5 and slides after a 6-yard gain at the 29. James Hasty there for Kansas City. Harbaugh hurries his team into formation with 1:18, 1:17 left in the half.
They only have one timeout. They want to save that for the field goal if they don't score the touchdown.
Second down and 4. Harbaugh slips and had to throw it away as he tried to set up. Derek Thomas was there and had to unload.
Boy, Derek Thomas just runs right by Will Wolford. Will Wolford is a tackle on the left-hand side, on the top side of the screen. 58, watch this, out to the outside by him and forces Harbaugh to throw the football. That's hustle. This guy has been all over Harbaugh today and in the backfield and making tackles on backs. Here he comes. Is that holding?
Derek Thomas has said that Charles Barkley, that was a guest, he invited him, and he said, if Barkley runs for governor of Alabama, I want to be his lieutenant governor.
Yeah, if you don't vote for him, they'll beat you up.
They got Alabama and Auburn covered. Right. How could they lose? 3rd and 4. Whoa, my, what a hit. Incomplete as Floyd Turner is derricked. He's down and out as Collins and Carter put the pinch on the wide receiver Turner, and now he's helped to his feet and staggers off.
Watch Floyd Turner right here. Derek Carter has him to the outside, but the Chiefs are in a defense right there. Brian Washington, again, the safety, he's looking for inside routes by the Indianapolis Colts receiver. So you're really throwing right into the strength of the defense, and he does an excellent job of breaking up the pass.
So Blanchard on to try a field goal. As you see the hit again, this will be 47 yards. It is no good. Short and to the left. And that's about what we saw all during the warm-up on the part of both kickers.
Well, what this does, this really gives the Kansas City Chiefs offense a chance to come out with 57 seconds to go and 2 timeouts to go down the field and maybe get a chance at a field goal themselves.
This ball had no chance. It never even made it to the end zone. You said anything outside the 40 is an adventure, and it really is. Folks, that isn't even close. That thing missed by about 5 yards.
Like trying to kick a shot put. Ted Marchibroda had his heart in it, but it wasn't that close. 7-all, and with 57 seconds left, Kansas City finally gets the ball. They've had it only 2.5 minutes this entire quarter.
That was what you call, when Washington hit Turner, separating the ball from the man.
So Bono with 2 timeouts left goes to work, gives it to Anders on the draw, and he's down at the 42-yard line.
I know you hate that call, don't you, Paul, the draw play?
Yeah, that makes you take a timeout. That's what it makes you do.
1 timeout left for Kansas City. Left in the half, go to work at their own 42.
You saw Washington, man, as he steamed.
Screen, and it should work. Anders in the open field at the 50. Hits to the out-of-bound marker at the 45.
What a great call and a smart reaction after Anders knows. What am I going to pick up? 2 or 3 more yards, Phil? Let's get out of bounds and get on with it.
Excellent job. A nice, safe play. They used to draw the first play, and there's Paul Hackett, the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. But the screen play, a good, safe play, get you down there. Now you can take a chance, throw it in the middle of the field, and get yourself in position for the field goal.
This is where, really, the middle of the field is open. They invite you here because they know that if you complete anything in the middle, you're going to have to take a timeout. They got to keep the clock running. So throw it in the middle.
That was Bono's first completion of the quarter. Only a couple. And Stephen Grant, the ordained minister, linebacker, number 59, collaborated with Tony McCoy on the tackle, and the Chiefs then forced to use their final timeout. We're on our way to Mesa, Arizona, and Super Bowl 30. And a reminder, NBC.
But here you run a play and pick up 4 yards, and you got to take a timeout.
Paul, I believe this. I actually agree with you. Yes. That might have been a little too conservative even for my taste.
I knew it was a long season.
Yeah. He finally wore me down.
2nd down and 7 at the 42. Bono, deep down the middle to Dawson. At the 20, at the 18. Tackled by Buchanan. Now the Chiefs hustle to try to down the ball. Bono gets his team lined up. And downs it with 16 seconds left.
See, if they throw that thing before this play here, if they'd have thrown it the play before, this is what would have happened. It would have been wide open. The middle is always open.
Paul, what happens here? You're going to see Lake Dawson up here at top. He's just going to run down and run the in cut, and you're going to see look at the Indianapolis Colts in a soft zone right there. Steve Bono, excellent job of anticipating where he's going to be and lays it right in the spot where Lake Dawson can catch it.
All right, the old prevent defense. You may call it soft. This is prevent. They're backed off so far. He catches the ball at the 20-yard line and gets it down to almost the 17-yard line. But the play should have been called the play before.
Got to go in the end zone right here with no timeouts left.
Has to hurry. 3 on the play clock. Gets it off at 1. Bono toward the end zone, and Dana Hughes, and it's intercepted by the Colts.
Oh, what a mistake right there.
No, it's Ashley Ambrose.
Wait a minute. They're saying he's out of the end zone. They're not going to give him the interception. They're saying he is out of the end zone.
Well, let's look at that one. That
This was ruled incomplete. It was bobbled in the end zone.
bobbled in the end zone is the call that he didn't have control. Let's see. Ashley Ambrose, 33.
All right, here it is. Take a look at now. Ashley Ambrose up in the air, catches the ball. He is bobbling it. He's got control. See, his foot is out of, well,
yeah,
here's we'll see it here. Watch his foot.
Watch it drag right here. It's going to drag. The other one's dragging.
He was inbounds. That's a tough call against the Colts.
See it? You can see the long mark he makes with his right foot right there.
Here's Elliott to try the field goal. It is no good. He misses to the right, and perhaps poetic justice in that Ambrose seemingly had the interception, but not so ruled.
Well, see, here's what happened. You were talking about, the Colts answered with the touchdown. Well, the Colts missed a field goal, and here are the Chiefs. They're answering with a miss. They just want to keep this thing close. That was very close to being there. He had enough foot, had enough ball.
Well, Lennon Elliott has struggled over the past few weeks right there, and he just, Paul, my perception right there is he just went into it and didn't kick it full speed or as hard as he could, and that looks like that was one of the reasons why it drifted right.
35-yard attempt missed by Elliott after Terry Blanchard had missed from 47, and now Harbaugh will take the kneel down, and that's the end of the first half. Heavily favored Kansas City has found a worthy opponent in Marchibroda's Colts. They're tied at 7 at the intermission as we go to Greg Gumbel in our NFL on NBC studio in New York.
The other thing, too, Dick, is that offensive line of the Colts, they've got to give him some more time. The defensive line of Kansas City has really been doing a job.
And the Colts will get the ball to start the second half. Aaron Bailey is deep. Ronald Humphrey and Cliff Gross are the wings as the kick comes down to Humphrey at the 18. Ronald spins across the 35 and out to the 39-yard line. So good field position for the Colts as we go to Jim Gray.
All right, Dick, I spoke to Marty Schottenheimer. He said these are two very evenly matched teams. He said we better figure out a way to stop Jim Harbaugh. He's very resourceful. If we don't, we're going to have a very long afternoon. Now, as for Teddy Marchibroda, he told me he didn't have very much to say to his team at all. In fact, all he said was, keep doing what you're doing. Dick?
You know, Dick, yesterday, yesterday we talked to Marty Schottenheimer. He says, we mirror each other. These two teams are very evenly matched. And it kind of surprised me because here's a team that's 13-3. And he's saying, well, you know, the Colts coming in, they're just like us.
They're alike in personality. Two very tough teams. Like to run. Lamont Warren on a toss. And Warren out for about a 5-yard gain to the 44-yard line.
Well, last week it was Zach Crockett doing all the running and making the big plays, and today right there on that play right there did an excellent job of going outside and making a good block to give the hold of Lamont Warren.
Warren, a man who played ahead of Rashaan Salam, who would become a Heisman Award winner at the University of Colorado, left after his junior year. And comparing Warren with Marcus Allen, Marcus a solid 5-yard rushing average, 50 yards in the half. It would appear that we should see more of Marcus lugging the ball the second half. Second down, Harbaugh, play action. Lets it rip. And well out of bounds is the ball, and Warren as he's covered by Mark Collins.
See Collins take Warren out. I mean, but that ball was overthrown and out of bounds, but it looked like Collins just took him out.
Well, here's Mark Collins right here. Watch him. He does an excellent job of picking Lamont Warren coming out of the backfield. Here's Lamont Warren's going to turn it up. Excellent job of seeing what they call the second man through his zone. And Mark Collins does a good job of seeing him coming out and covers him well.
Yeah, they're looking for the matchup with the linebacker. They got Collins, a former cornerback, who's been shifted to safety instead. Third down and 4. Here comes Neil Smith. Harbaugh scrambles around it, buying time, and has to throw, and is he hit from behind by Smith? He's okay, and the Colts will have to punt it away.
Boy, Neil Smith, you talk about some outstanding hustle. This guy had a great first half. Watch this. He breaks through that, he gets back to the outside, and he just does not stop. He really believes I can catch Harbaugh. He was there.
He did catch him.
Yeah, he did. He really did catch him, and that was a good push.
Neil Smith, who has been in red all of his adult life at Nebraska and now with Kansas City. We've been crowing a little bit about those Huskers, too. Vanover, who fumbled late in the first half, and Gardocki gets into a good spiral. Vanover to the 8-yard line. Return one for a touchdown against the Chargers in overtime, and he's tackled at the 20 with flags dotting the frozen field here in Kansas City. Quentin Coriat on the special teams. He's one of their top defensive players and employed on the special teams work as well.
Well, this is the Quentin Coriat is the guy that really has stepped up. He's the guy that they thought he was the #1 draft choice. You know, everybody expected him to come alive the first year, second year. He said, hey, I'm a brand new guy. I am really now in my 4th year. I'm now learning the system. Now I know what to expect.
Born in the Virgin Islands and moved with his parents to Texas, where his dad was a pipe fitter with the oil industry.
Yeah, and Dick, yes, sir. He's calling you sir all night. Yes, sir, Mr. Enberg. Yes, sir.
That's at Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
Yeah,
that's
military.
Right.
I call you sir.
He didn't call you sir, though, Paul.
Well, I'm a military guy. So no, I call him sir. I call Dickie sir. That's right. Sir Dick.
Please, Mr. Mark Bright, get us out of this and give us the call.
We have 2 fouls after possession changed. We have unsportsmanlike conduct foul on number 4, kicking team. We have a holding penalty on number 52, Kansas City, on the return. Both fouls after possession. The ball is awarded at the dead ball spot. First down.
What did Harbaugh do?
Jim Harbaugh is on the sidelines. That would be interesting to learn how he picked up the call. Oh, my. Welcome back early in the second half, tied at 7. The underdog Colts, the team with the best record in the league, 13-3 Kansas City. Chiefs start at the 20-yard line. To Marcus Allen, and he has a couple. Let's go back to what Harbaugh could have done to deserve an unsportsmanlike conduct call.
Here's what we think it is. We're not going to tell you right away. I want you folks to look at Harbaugh, number 4 on the sidelines. Here he comes. See him standing there? Tell us what he does wrong.
He's pointing out that Carter might have blocked his teammate in the back.
Right.
The only thing that we could figure out up here, and of course we had anybody get verified, that he's on that white line over there. On that white part, you're not supposed to be there. The players are supposed to be behind. All he is doing is getting out of the way.
Second down and 8 as Bono on play action gets it to Anders. Anders with Grant, and Grant finally gets him out of bounds, but not until Anders is close to a first down, just shy of the 30.
Well, the Indianapolis Colts were in the perfect defense right here to stop it. They said they were worried about Steve Bono on the play-action fakes, rolling out of the pocket and making passing plays. Steven Grant is right there on Kimbo Anders, should tackle him for no gain, and Kimbo Anders does an excellent job of picking up about 7 or 8 yards and getting close to the first down.
Vince Tobin, the defensive coordinator, was Mike Ditka's defensive coordinator when he was head coach of the Bears. Third and short. Fake to Allen. Bono to Richardson. He can't come up with the ball. Incomplete.
Wow.
Tony Richardson, who was on the Dallas practice squad a year ago, just couldn't haul it in.
Hold on. Just hold it for a second. I mean, this really boggles my mind. I've seen some other plays. You've got the best third down short yardage back in football in Marcus Allen, and you're going to throw a pass to a guy new in the ball game? What am I missing here?
What you're trying to do, Steve Bono, you're trying to get some momentum going on offense, and right there, you're right, Paul. Run the ball, get the first down, and then try some deception as you get moving.
Aguiar, 3 punts, 33-yard average into this cold weather. Kicks it toward Ray Buchanan. Buchanan back at the Colts 30, and it's a best kick of the day for Aguiar. Drives Buchanan to the 24. And tries to work his way free, and flags fly as you normally will see when that kick returner starts dancing around. A 47-yard punt by Louis Aguiar. Comes down to make sure that he gets a little contact on that return.
Oh, yeah, he's looking for contact. All right.
Illegal block, number 30 on the return. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Derwin Gray, who is our warm-up man without the sleeves. There he is.
Yeah, pushing in the back.
Timeout with 12:28 left in the third. Colts, architect of the offense, has seen his team smothered by this Kansas City defense, averaging only 3.5 yards per play. As we showed you earlier in the game, the Chiefs' best in the league for the whole season allowed only 4.3 yards, better than that today. After the penalty, Harbaugh and the Colts start from their 18. Lamont Warren cuts upfield at the 20, 30, to the 39-yard line before Tracy Simeon can ride him down. A 21-yard run.
Anthony Davis makes a nice play, but Washington, number 48, overruns it. He's the guy that's got to make the tackle. Coming down the line, you're going to see 50 Smith. He's going to cut it back in, or Davis. And then what happens is that Washington 48 just overruns the play, and he's the guy that's got to make the tackle. That's a nice play.
They spotted at the 38-yard line. Warren's longest run of the day. Leading rusher for the Colts was 62. And they toss it the other way. And Mark Collins comes comes up to make a tough hit. Ball goes out of bounds, but I believe after he was down at the 40. Vaughn Booker made the hit.
Well, Kansas City was in a defense that time where they man coverage and 2 safeties deep, and Mark Collins, when he saw it was run on the outside, he came up and did a wonderful job of forcing and making the play.
And Sally Moore, Kip Vickers tried to cut him, Phil. He just stepped over the top of him. You talk about an agile man. He weighs about 3 1/4.
Aaron Bailey to the left. Floyd Turner, the touchdown maker, to the right. Second down 9. Humphrey, Ronald Humphrey, and he's bumped out at the 44. Humphrey, who carried the ball only 2 times the entire season, had a couple of catches and limited role with Indianapolis. He's from Mississippi Valley State. Interestingly, 2 players, he and Ashley Ambrose, both from Jerry Rice Tech.
Jerry Rice University, that's right.
Did they change the name, huh?
Yeah, I think so. They both met him. He's come back to school and given some inspirational talks.
Yeah, Ashley Ambrose said, you know, one day I'm going to cover you in the NFL, and it did happen a few weeks ago when they played each other.
Third, it's a long 4. 9 men on the line of scrimmage for the Chiefs, but only 4 rush. Harbaugh has a man open. Turner, does he hold on? Yes. First down at the Kansas City 46, a 10-yard play.
It's an excellent job by Jim Harbaugh and Floyd Turner right there. Here's what the Chiefs are doing. Look, here's the safety coming up inside. The other one drops deep. And what they want the Indianapolis Colts to do is throw it inside so the safety can make the play. But right there, they have the perfect play called. Floyd Turner going outside away from the safeties. And an excellent throw by Jim Harbaugh.
And there's that thing we were talking about before, Dick, where they throw the ball outside and away, inside and down. Perfect.
And as we've seen the Colts all season long, these receivers very rarely drop a ball. Their wide receivers are terrific. Harbaugh, lots of time. Underneath to Warren. Takes 1 tackle and struggles to the 40. He was ruled down at the 40. No fumble. No fumble. Mark Collins jawing with the officials.
Well, it's an excellent job by the Indianapolis Colts offensive line. They've had a few good runs, and the play-action fake keeps the defensive lineman on the line of scrimmage, and Jim Harbaugh all day finally finds Lamont Warren. And you're going to see Neil Smith hustling, come in here, right there, and he is on the ground before the fumble happens.
That's a right hook. He throws a right hook. Watch this. Bam! I mean, he is down. That's a good call by the official.
Neil Smith, though, creating havoc again for Kansas City. Ronald Humphrey, he's in the game again, and a big hole for Humphrey and a first down at the 34. Well, one of the questions we asked at the start of the game today was who would be the unknown to answer the bell for the Colts again. It was Warren 2 weeks ago. It was Crockett last week. Maybe it's Ronald Humphrey.
Well, how about when Lindy and Fonnie yesterday told us that Humphreys could get in the game, maybe catch some passes and all that? We all looked at each other and go, really? I mean, it's somebody different every week. You're right.
And you've got to admit, they really do, and those 4 guys back there, they have a world of experience. 2 rookies and 2 second-year men.
Ronald Humphrey, described as one massive muscle. He's 211 pounds. First down from the 34. Humphrey again, and no hole this time. Neil Smith, the super defensive end of the Kansas City Chiefs. 5 Pro Bowls. This will be his 5th. Let's just check on how he's doing.
Here he does a good job of forcing Jim Harbaugh back inside, but Harbaugh makes the play.
And he forced a fumble, but it took a Colts bounce. Watch him run Harbaugh down.
Ever since Thanksgiving, when they played the Dallas Cowboys, he had an excellent game down there, but Neil Smith has probably been one of the most dominant defensive linemen in the league since Thanksgiving. Every week coming up with big plays.
He's got a secret weapon, that sweet potato pie. Underneath, intercepted. Mark Collins takes it away from Warren.
What a series Mark Collins has had in this drive by the Colts. He's made 3 good solid tackles to stop runs, and right here does an excellent job of driving through the receiver. Lamont Warren, Mark Collins just destroys him at the line of scrimmage and drives in front and makes a good interception.
The team that has led the world in turnovers and takeaways has their first today. With the first interception interception for the Chiefs today at the 31, and just as Indy is 8-0 when they win the turnover battle, this year Kansas City 9-0. When it's even, they're 1-0, and when the other team takes it away more than they do, they're split the 6 games. And it's even so far, as is the score, 7-7, 8 minutes, 10 seconds left in the third. Flag down and false start against the Chiefs.
You know, Dick, just to go back to that interception of Mark Collins, he's a defensive back and a physical one at that. A running back, Lamont Warren, comes out there and lines up against him.
Number 69, offense. And 5-yard penalty, first down.
And Mark Collins just he's thinking to himself, boy, that doesn't get any better than this. He is just going to dominate a running back when they split out against him.
Let's take a look at it, just how Collins played Warren.
Well, if you take a look at Harbaugh, this is where he's going with it the whole way. He looks out to Warren, and Collins just plays to the inside. This ball was thrown too far inside, and that time it gave Collins a chance to pick it off.
Threw less interceptions than any quarterback in the league. On 1st and 15, Bono in the middle. It's his tight end, Derek Walker, tackled immediately by Jeff Herrod at the 32-yard line.
You know, you say when the Colts have the ball, you got to have that thing in the hands of Harbaugh and let him do what he does best with the ball. I feel when you have the Kansas City Chiefs and you have number 32, Marcus Allen, on the field, you have got to get that ball into his hands, whether he's running the ball, whether it's a screen pass, or whether you're throwing the ball to him. But Marcus Allen is the workhorse on this team.
2nd down and 8. This one cleanly at the 49-yard line. It was intended for Webster Slaughter. Here's a young man that has really blossomed the last 4 games.
Ashley Ambrose had an excellent game last week, but Steve Bono, watch him right here. He's going to throw it, and he says, oh, no, yeah, oh, and then he decides too late to go ahead and throw the ball. And Ashley Ambrose, very aggressive at the corner, cuts in front of the receiver and makes the interception.
Yeah, Ambrose in the front and Belser in the back, and yeah, bad throw.
First down at the Chiefs' 49-yard line. Ambrose, who had 3 interceptions during the regular season. Here's Humphrey. Sticks his nose in there for a couple.
Those safeties for the Kansas City Chiefs
are tough. You know, we talked to Mark Gibrota about this guy, Ashley Ambrose. He said the last 4 games, he became a man. I mean, he is the guy that really stepped up and made a play. He said, Ashley Ambrose, you know, we were kind of worried about him, but then all of a sudden, 4 games ago, he became the player that they wanted in that secondary.
Well, they took him as a 2nd-round pick 3 years ago. 29th player selected. Said he just was slow maturing. 2nd and 9. Fake to Crockett. Harbaugh keeps it and ducks out of bounds at about the 41.
You notice that play there where you can back out on the bootleg, and I think for the first time today he was going to throw the ball to Kent Doger, but Kent Doger comes out, but he was covered. They have played this play so well. We have not seen them throw the ball to the tight end in this game, and we've only seen the Chiefs throw it twice to the tight end.
And yet coming into the game, all the coaches were indicating that the tight end would be a very important position. Bailey and Stabline right. Dawkins, Turner in the slot left on 3rd and 3. Quarterback draw. And look at him run like a fullback. He fumbled the ball. And a scramble. Are they going to rule him down? Harbaugh off the quarterback draw in the shotgun, and they're going to say he's down. He lost the ball as he was going to the turf.
It just shows you the strength of him too, Phil. I mean, he has an awful lot of strength. Harbaugh.
Yeah, he does, Paul, but look right here. The safety again is up in the middle. The Kansas City Chiefs have the perfect defense on to stop this draw play by the quarterback, but the offensive line stays with their blocks. Do a good job of getting the defensive lineman just out of the way to let Jim Harbaugh get that yardage.
Well, Martin Bayless is the guy that's in the middle, but what happens when Crockett goes in motion, Bayless leaves.
Harbaugh recovering his own fumble. On 1st down into the flat to Dawkins. Dawkins at the 26-yard line. And another Colts 1st down. Tracy Simeon Gets his hands on the fallen receiver.
You know, again, we talked last week about how well the offensive line played. Watch the offensive line here. Little play action pass, but look at the time Harbaugh has. Neil Smith is coming up the middle, but he has time to find Dawkins on the outside. First down.
Sean Dawkins, you're going to see him run what they call a delay pattern outside, and James Hasty falls off because Lamont Warren went deep behind him. He had to cover him. That's what left him. That's why he was so wide open.
Harbaugh on first down to throw. Again, Dawkins left wide open. He's got another first down out of bounds at the Chiefs 13. And at this point, when you compare the two passers today, Harbaugh throwing much more accurately than Bono.
Good. That is exactly right. Jim Harbaugh throw the ball where he wants to. Decision making good, but when he makes a decision, he wants to throw it outside low or throw it inside, whatever, putting it on the money. That's why he's having success.
Off the wristband, cue device. And the alignment not correct. Play clock at 10-9, so plenty of time for Harbaugh. First down at the 13. Oh, false start, left tackle, Wolford, or Vickers it was, I believe, 71. You get down there inside the 15, those 5-yard penalties are much bigger than out at midfield.
And they really are. And when you're down in this area, you get it from the 20-yard line in. That's the red zone.
Number 85, offense.
They use it on Joker, but when you're down here, Dick, that noise is so compact in that one corner down there that you really don't hear anything. Now it's all visual.
Ashley Ambrose. Looking for a score that would give the Colts the lead. Chiefs scored first in the opening quarter on a Bono pass to Lake Dawson. Indianapolis answered a 5-yard touchdown pass, Harbaugh to Turner. And now a chance for the Colts to take the lead with 4 minutes plus remaining in the third quarter. Little mix-up on alignment again for Indy. First and 15. Lamont Warren. Good defensive stop by the defensive left side of the Chiefs line led by Big Joe Phillips.
I don't think you really want to, if you're the Colts, to run inside the tackles against the Chiefs down here. First of all, the field is smaller. They have less to cover. What you've got to do is what they did when they scored the touchdown. Put some guys out 3 wide, do a little motion, and try to get somebody lost like they did on the first touchdown. Get them lost in the motion.
See the comparison of the two quarterbacks. Yardage almost identical. Harbaugh has rushed for 41 yards, however. Bono 0. Second and 14. Harbaugh has to hurry. Wide open is Crockett. Incomplete. At the 1-yard line. It would have been a tough catch again. But that's where Harbaugh is so dangerous. Scrambling on the run. How many times have Colts fans seen him this year complete the big touchdown pass?
Well, it's a good thing Keith Traylor gets inside and puts some pressure on him because Zach Crockett's running out and up. And if Jim Harbaugh had the time, you could see he had a step on Derek Thomas. And I think Jim Harbaugh would have stuck it in there maybe for the touchdown.
Good job by Thomas to rip at the arms of Crockett to deny him the chance.
Crockett has had some opportunities. He dropped one that could have been a touchdown, and he dropped one that was hit behind him. This is, Ambrose is the guy that got the turnover. And every time a guy gets a turnover, whether it's a fumble recovery, an interception, or whatever it may be, they would love to see their team score off of my turnover. So that you can get bragging rights. You walk in the locker room, they got their score off of my turnover.
Right. You see Harbaugh at times putting both hands to his helmet as if he has a headache. He's just trying to hear that little speaker in the helmet as Lindy Infante calls in the plays. But with this noise, it's tough to get the full message.
Well, the easiest way is to do what he just did. Go over there and ask him.
Well, that's because they're resetting that 25-second clock and it still isn't functioning. Still isn't working as Jerry Markbright signals. He's going to let the play go here. 8th play of the drive since the Ambrose interception at the Kansas City 49. 3rd and 14. Hand off to Warren with a good block. And Warren out of bounds inside the 15, far short of the first down, and here comes the field goal unit.
I think that's the play you run to set yourself up for the field goal.
Oh, absolutely. 3rd and 15, the noise, they're fired up. You're down in a position where you think you can get some points on the board. Don't take the chance of making a mistake. Good call.
And the other thing is your defense is playing extremely well. I mean, they're shutting down the Kansas City Chiefs. Mark Collins is down.
As they attend to Collins, do the mathematics on the field goal. It'll be about a 31-yard attempt for the lead. We'll be back at arrow to Mark Collins. Here's the hit by Collins as he throws his shoulder and helmet right into the ball carrier Warren.
But maybe it looks like right there, his head hit in there and hit the leg of Lamont Warren, and
he got to his feet once, and now
they're looking at his leg.
Well, this is the guy that can ill afford to lose again. Here's the guy that you said it before on that last drive. I mean, he made 3 great tackles and then an interception. He has had a great game along with Derek Thomas.
Well, Collins was down on the field. Head coach Ted Marchibroda is going down the line and telling his men to stay with it.
Telling them all. Oh, I'm sorry, Dick. She's telling them all. Let it rip. Let's go. Let's get it going.
31-yard attempt for the lead by Kerry Blanchard, who was 19 for 24 during the season. Missed only 5. Missed earlier today. This one is good. And the Colts have taken the lead for the first time with the AFC Championship berth in the balance. It's the Colts 10 and the Chiefs 7. You're watching the NFL on NBC. Of dismay for the former Buffalo Bills linebacker Marty Schottenheimer in his 7th year in Kansas City. He's the playoff master, but he's down 10-7 with 2:44 left. Here comes Vanover, and he's to the 33-yard line. The Colts have converted the Ashley Ambrose interception into 3. Marty Schottenheimer, outstanding record. He and Hank Stram, Kansas City. Look at that, 116. But when it comes to the playoffs, the second winningest NFL active coach deflated 5-9, 3-5 with the Chiefs. And you hate to remind coaches of things, but he did concur that loss in Cleveland when John Elway went first in 98 to take Denver into overtime and beat Cleveland was the toughest loss ever. Here comes Marcus out. And as you were saying, Phil, someone has to come up with some plays for Kansas City. They just out of rhythm.
And Marcus Allen would be the guy I would turn to. And Paul, I think you're right. Give it to him on the runs right there. A good example. The one thing I think this Kansas City offense can do is overpower the defensive line of the Indianapolis Colts. They've shown they can run it inside, but they never get in rhythm to keep it going long enough to help out Steve Bono in the passing game.
A tremendous offensive line. Use it.
Averaging 5 yards a carry with 60 yards. Marcus leading all rushers. Second and short. Allen again. There's a first down. There's a ball. Allen fights to the 45. There's a big play.
Marcus is going to say to Lake Dawson, if you're not going to block, Lake, get out of my way because I got some business I got to take care of here. I said you got an offensive line. Get the ball into this guy's hand and watch what he does. Look at the blocking along that line of scrimmage. I mean, that is just outstanding. Marcus is right there. Lake Dawson gets in his way. Please get out of my way. I've got some things I have to accomplish here.
16 yards on the carry and a first down at the Colts 45.
Believe me, he's not tired, and he's not going to get tired. He's 5'9". He's averaging.
Look how deeply he set behind Bono. 8 yards. Only short yardage this time off the left side. Mark Collins' injury. Jim Gray, what's the report?
Well, Mark Collins has a badly bruised left knee. His return is questionable. He's trying to walk it off, not having much success. Dick?
All right, Jim, apparently hitting that knee on that frozen ground. Huh?
You could see when he went to make the tackle and he tried to dig in with his feet, it just shot ice out. There's nothing down in that one corner has been frozen since yesterday. And these guys, well, they don't wear knee pads, do they, Phil?
These defensive backs usually don't wear knee pads or thigh pads.
Well, they don't help you. What's a knee pad good for? A little piece of spine.
Kimball Landers at tailback with Allen given a breather after carrying 3 times. It's Anders to the left side. And Tony McCoy from defensive tackle came over to help out Trev Alberts.
We Well, you can see now that the Kansas City offense and the coaches have decided it's crucial. We're getting late in the third quarter, 20-some seconds to go now, but let's go out and just run the ball down their throat. It's working so far. Now they're in a situation where really they can run it again. If they don't make it, they could go for it on fourth down.
I would guarantee you they're going to go for it if they don't make it on third down. And you get Marcus Allen back in the game and give him the football.
We're going to let the third quarter tick out with the Indianapolis Colts leading 10-7 after 3. We return after these messages from your local station. CP&K Experience. So to the fourth quarter with Pittsburgh waiting the winner. Wonder who the Steelers are cheering for as Marcus Allen puts his head down and gets very little at the 35-yard line. And that will bring up, well, he might have gotten the first down. He didn't need much, only needed 2. And it is a first down.
Dick, I love the way you say that because you're talking about Marcus Allen, and they were talking about what a great third down runner, short yard runner. He says, well, he only needed 2. I mean, how you think 2 inches, 3 inches maybe, but they only needed 2 yards? You could say that with Marcus.
They got the 2 and a little bit more. 80 yards rushing for Allen to lead all ball carriers today. Trailing by 3 and a first down at the Colts 35. This drive almost entirely Allen's. He gets it again and slips on the cut at the 34-yard line. Tony McCoy, Trev Alberts, Jeff Farad in on the play. Time of possession since the first quarter. The last 2 quarters, the Colts have owned the ball.
Well, that's one of the reasons why this Kansas City offense has not gotten rhythm any time today except for that one touchdown drive. Indianapolis is coming on the field and just doing a good job of controlling the football.
You said they don't have rhythm. They haven't had rhythm for 3 quarters.
Well, on this drive, Allen 5 carries and Anders the other. 6 straight running plays. Now play action to Allen and a screen to Anders. 25-22. Fumbled as he hit the ground, and it's ruled down after a 12-yard play.
Dick, I'm telling you something. You should see Anders when he hits that ground. He just bounces from that 25-yard line all the way into the end zone. It's absolutely frozen solid. Watch when Anders catches this ball and he's hit and he goes down. Watch him bounce. There is absolutely no give on that ground. He boom. And the ball comes out. Cash picks it up, runs for a touchdown. But
call it back at the 23-yard line. 5 catches for Anders to lead the Chiefs. Marcus in motion. Anders knocked down at the 28-yard line as crashing through is Tony Bennett. They've done a good job of checking Bennett most of this game.
Just an excellent job by the Indianapolis front here. Tony Bennett, watch him right here. It looks like it's going to be a pass. Does a good job of just coming up the field and getting enough of a hand on Kimball Anders to make him slip and fall down.
See, I don't like the plays in here because we know that ground is frozen. So you don't try to run wide and cut back in. You've got to play in between the tackles now. They've got the beef up front to do that. Run them straight ahead.
5-yard loss. Allen, you can hear the pads pop as he picks up a couple into Quentin Coriat and Trev Alberts.
Now, Phil, here you are in a situation now that put the ball down. It'll be about a 42-yard field goal if you don't get any more yardage. Do you really play safe here, or do you have to go for the first down and gamble?
I will be shocked if they don't play safe here. Maybe they will give him one receiver down the field in case they get the perfect coverage. But otherwise, I would look for the Kansas City to throw this ball underneath and just get in good field goal position.
John Alt, the veteran left tackle, limps off the field. And he'll be replaced by Jeff Criswell.
That guy looks like a tree. Look at the size of him.
Alt is 6'8" and 307. He's the champion fisherman on this Kansas City club. Nothing he'd rather be doing than ice fishing.
Yeah, that's all you're going to do today is ice fishing. And they can do it right over there by the bench because nobody's had a drink of water.
In that Gatorade cup, huh?
I mean, that stuff is frozen solid.
So's that football. Look at that football. You can tell by the shine on it that the cold weather.
Tough to throw, huh?
Absolutely.
10th play of the drive. 3rd and 13. Buchanan couldn't get there. The throw to Anders, and he slips again at the 22. And that will bring the field goal unit out. Trev Albert's there to down him.
This is something that the Indianapolis coach does a good job of. Look at all the people crowding the line of scrimmage. They send some blitzers. Steve Bono does a good job of throwing to the hot receiver, but the new thing in the NFL, blitz, plays zone behind it. That's what they had zone, so everybody is able to see the ball caught, come up, and make the play.
It will be about 40, might be just inside that, 39. It will be a 39-yard attempt by Elliott, who missed from 35 in the first half.
Into the tough end zone, and what breeze there is into his face.
Plus a slippery footing. And he hooks it left, no good. And they're getting nervous at Arrowhead. The Colts still lead by 3. Kansas City, the only NFL team not to lose at home during the season. Lynn Elliott fails to tie it. His 39-yard field goal wide, and the Colts take over at the 30. And gang tackled as Lamont Warren, no gain. Let's go back to the field goal attempt by Elliott.
He just tried to put everything he could into this ball, Phil, and just dead hooked it left.
Well, the first one he eased into, it went right, Paul. And this one, he wanted to make sure he got the power behind it, came over the top.
You know, Teddy Marchibrono, we saw him last week in San Diego, and Ted came in. You remember now, folks, he took the Buffalo Bills as offensive coordinator the first 2 Super Bowls that they went to. He said, you know, this is fun now. This is the time when it's really a lot of fun. And the man knows how to win, I'm telling you.
33 years as a coach, he's always made it fun for his players. I remember him back as an assistant with George Allen of the Rams. Harbaugh leans into a long one for Warren. Incomplete. Covered by Mark Collins. Good news for the Chiefs. He's back and makes plays defensively.
Phil Fisher's deal about licking your chops again. Here's Collins. He's on a back.
Absolutely. As you watch him right here, he gets himself in perfect position, and really he makes Lamont Warren become the defender. Mark Collins thinks he has it intercepted, but runs past the ball just a little bit. Again, a running back on a defensive back who used to be a corner for so many years, he has no chance down the field.
They're down to 9. They've been successful in this situation. Harbaugh, a danger to scramble. Derek Thomas, and flags fly as Thomas guessing the snap count. Could be that the crowd threw him off.
No, that's just a mental error. He wants to do something to make something happen. You've got a team at 3rd and 10. Be patient. You've got 10 other guys who are going to help you on this deal.
But Paul, you're right. This is getting a situation.
False start. Number 67. 87. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Sean Dawkins, a wide receiver. Usually you don't get false starts off wide receivers. They're allowed to move. They're not an interior lineman unless he was lined up at tight end.
Well, you really don't, because these guys are not in a 3-point stance. They're standing up.
As you look at the all 22 above, look at all the Colts. Here's 67, Will Wolford, the wide receivers. I see nobody move.
Nobody moves. I mean, this is a terrible call. This is offside by the defense.
Well, Derek Thomas able to steal 5 yards. 26-yard line after the penalty. 3rd and 14.
The only thing that Dawkins did was move his arms, and you're allowed to do that.
This crowd really letting the noise fly as Harbaugh from the shotgun. Ducks out of trouble. Looks for a block. What a tackle in the open field. Is it ruled a fumble? No. They say he's down at the 35, and will he get up? What a hit by Mark Collins.
You know, this was Martin Bayless, I believe, number 21, that makes the hit. And I'm going to tell you something, Dick. This is something we've been waiting to see all day long. They were sitting one guy, and that was Bayless all day long, responsible for Harbaugh. And number 21, Martin Bayless. Here comes Neil Smith on the rush.
Boy, Neil Smith has had so many chances again, he misses him again.
But watch what Bayless does. He gets himself in a football position to make this play. Look at this. Here's Bayless. He's ready. He makes the stick. That is not a fumble. That is not a fumble.
Indeed, Martin Bayless, who is as big as some linebackers at around 220, a pickup during the early part of the season, and Harbaugh, who took a wicked lick, slow getting up. Timeout. Bloody Jim Harbaugh on the sidelines with that headgear. Looks like Prince Valiant, and he's been all of that for the Colts. Captain comeback, 4 wins from behind this year to get them in the playoffs. Now it's Gardocki. Dying flying spiral. Vanover on the run. And he's brought down at the 36-yard line. The Colts, despite the fact they've not had a good record in defending the punt return this year, have done a good job today. 35-yard punt, 7 on the return, 10-7. The Chiefs trail, and Kansas City, with 8:48 left in the fourth, has the ball. Tonight, News Radio moves to its new night after Mad About You. It's been a big hit this year on Tuesdays, now pairing up with Mad About You. Fake to Allen. Hurried throw by Bono, incomplete. Keith Cass, the closest receiver, and Bono is being ridden by Ellis Johnson, the tackle in free that time.
Well, right now, the Kansas City Chiefs, not in a must-pass situation, but they got to be a little worried, so you have to take a chance and go down the field. But Ellis Johnson doesn't give Steve Bono the time to set up and throw because the tight end Keith Cash was wide open.
You know what a great job this defense has done without Tony Siragusa, who had the flu and was scratched before the game started. But, I mean, this defensive line, they've been hustling.
Ellis Johnson has done a good job inside filling in for him today.
Team already regarded as very light on the defensive line. Stops Marcus Allen, Tony McCoy, and Quentin Coriat. Jim Gray?
Dick, Jim Harbaugh will be all right. He took a shot, got the wind knocked out of him, spit up a little bit of blood, but he's feeling okay, trying to walk it off, throwing some balls, and he will return to the game. Dick?
Hey, Jimmy, nice going. That's easy for you to say, oh, let's spit up a little blood. He's got to take a shot. He'll be right. He's all right.
Well, that just epitomized Jim Harbaugh. Scrambling, 3rd and 15. He took the big hit trying to get the first down. He's really quite fortunate that he was not hurt.
Approaching the 8-minute mark, 3rd down and long for Kansas City. 4th quarter, 10-7 Indianapolis. Bono, they bring some pressure this time. Intercepted by Coriat. Quentin Coriat returns to the Kansas City 40. Regarded as the fastest of the Colt linebackers, and they have terrific speed.
Just an excellent job by Quentin Coriat. He's a free linebacker. He sees Steve Bono looking right the whole way, just reads his eyes, drops back in front of the receiver, and makes the interception.
Steve Bono pass, Quentin Coriat, and that gives the Colts a 3-1 lead in the turnover table, and we have well documented how important that is. Bono has had an off day, and this his first big game start in the playoffs. From the 40. Harbaugh back in there. Gives to Warren. And Lamont Warren has an 8-yard gain on first down.
Well, Vince Tobin, the defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts, says, my job is to create confusion. And here he does. Look at the blitz up top. But here's Quentin Coriat. Watch him drop back and get right in front of the receiver. Steve Bono locks to the right side, and Quentin Coriat pushes the first receiver by, sees the quarterback looking right, and does an excellent job of stepping in front.
You know, when you're looking at this football game, remember what Bill Cowher said to us with 3 games to go in the season? He said in 4 weeks we're all going to be 0-0 and anybody can win. You're seeing it.
I believe him.
2nd down and 2 as Warren has gained 76 yards rushing today. His number is called again, but no gain. Brian Washington came up from a safety spot to help out Tracy Simeon.
But I think you got to give a lot of credit to the Indianapolis Colts defense, showing Steve Bono a lot of looks, making him a little bit hesitant, and sometimes a little late with the football. And right there, another good example, a split second late, and that's enough in this league for interceptions.
And there's nothing wrong with the pass. I mean, he threw a pretty good ball at that time. He just threw right into coverage.
That's right.
That's a question of doubt. Not that he's not throwing the ball well. He's not picking out the right receiver.
Decision making.
3rd down and 2 for Harbaugh and the Colts. 6.5 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. With a 3-point lead, the handoff to Warren. He stopped after a 1-yard gain. It appears to be short by about a yard.
It'll be 4th down. The question is now, what do you do with this thing? You got 4th down. Your defense is playing extremely well. The ball's at the 31-yard line. You go for it.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's any question. The only other thing that you would do, you wouldn't kick a field goal here because it'll be about a 50-yard field goal. But the one thing,
Now they're going to bring in the punting unit.
I don't really buy this one. I think I would go for it here. They're going to. Is that a field goal?
Trying to draw them offside. No, Blanchard is.
They're going to kick a field goal. Well, this is almost 50 yards.
We're going to call time. It would be a 49-yard attempt. Boy, in this weather and these conditions, you kick 149. That would be unbelievable. Broda and his staff re-huddled with a timeout, but he sent the field goal unit back out. Kerry Blanchard's longest ever is 50 yards. That was this year. This one is 49. A slight wind at his back on a frozen field. Remember, if he misses, Chiefs get the ball at the spot. And he has missed. Well to the left.
Well, you know, Dick, I said I didn't agree with it. Neither did Phil agree with his kick. And the main reason was in this weather, these conditions, you really don't try to do that. The other thing is this, and you said it, they get the ball now at the 40-yard line. They gain 7 yards on the play because the kicker is back 7 yards, or the holder is. Here's where they get the ball back.
The thing that would concern me kicking right here, he's just not able to really plant that solid on his field because we can see it's frozen from way up here.
That gives the Chiefs a chance on this possession with 5:44 left to drive for a winning touchdown or at least a tying field goal.
The Chiefs have 3 timeouts, the Colts 2.
From the 39, Bono to Marcus. A gain of 2, maybe 3. Ellis Johnson, the rookie from Florida, the #1 pick of the Colts this year, and Tony McCoy playing at his shoulder in the center of the Colt line make the stop.
Well, right now it even becomes harder to run the ball because the Indianapolis Colts, that defense, they can smell it now, and they're a little more fired up. You can see it, the body language, and it just makes it harder for the offensive linemen to drive those defensive linemen off the ball.
I think to the man and to the coach, they said when we talked to them, nobody expected us to be here, so we're just going to have some fun.
Derek Walker replaces Keith Cash, who limped off. Fake to Allen. Bono in trouble. Gets away from Whittington. And completes a flag down. Caught by Webster Slaughter at the 44-yard line of the Colts. Check the penalty. 14-yard gain if.
They're calling this a penalty, offensive pass interference against Webster Slaughter.
Pass interference, number 85, offense. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Well, you can see it. Webster Slaughter's going to come straight down the field. Ray Buchanan in perfect position. He puts those arms out and pushes off, and a good call by the officials.
Or you can see them skating on the sidelines. Treacherous conditions. That's one of those calls, though, that some are whistled and some are not. Against Kansas City in a critical spot, exactly 5 minutes to go. And now Steve Bono looks at second down 17. Len Elliott, the place kicker for Kansas City, will he get a chance? Screen batted in the air and complete. It was Tony Bennett in to knock it in the air.
Well, you know, you just, Phil said something at halftime that is really so true. When you look at it, here comes Tony Bennett, and I'll let you just watch him make the play getting up in the air. But the one thing about this Kansas City Chiefs team, this offense has not been in sync in any way, shape, or form. The only guy that on offense has had a decent day has been Marcus Allen. He is now walking off the field.
Well, the problem is Kansas City hasn't decided whether they want to come out and run it or throw it. They've got caught in between. That's why they're having a hard time.
Third down 17. The Chiefs have not made a 3rd and 4 or longer all day. 0 for 5. So they need a huge play here. Bono down the field. Intercepted. Ray Buchanan. No, check that. It's Eugene Daniel, the veteran, who comes down with it. Hit from behind. Hangs on at the 48-yard line. Willie Davis finally made the tackle. Lake Dawson actually was behind the defense, but the ball didn't get there.
Well, this was just a desperation throw, really, for Steve Bono. No reason to make this right now. You still have a chance if you don't make it on this series, but he gets a little pressure, and he just throws it out there, overthrows Willie Davis, and Eugene Daniels just sitting there waiting for the football. An easy interception and a terrible decision by Steve Bono.
Well, what the question will be as this game comes down to its final minutes, what happened to Bono today? Was it the finger? Was it the 2-week layoff? Was he just in a late season slump?
Well, I think he has thrown the ball. He's had velocity, and he's controlled it somewhat. His decision-making has been questionable, and the Indianapolis Colts defense, I think, has just done a wonderful job of covering some of the receivers down the field that he's looking for.
Zach Crockett, nothing there for him. Well, it's not unlike that defense, the befuddled Stan Humphries and the Chargers last week. It's two terrific games back-to-back in the playoffs.
You asked Vince Tobin, what is your philosophy on defense? Explain it to me where I can understand it. And he says to confuse the offense, to make them think as much as possible, just like offenses do to my defense.
Kansas City Chiefs just called timeouts. But one other thing, Phil. You know, realistically, did you like the play calling in this ball game? I mean, that has to come from upstairs. I'm sorry, that comes when and he gets the Bono gets the call in from upstairs. Now,
well, it's not, you know, Paul. I'll just say this: early we talked about it at halftime. In the second quarter, they gave this offense about 4 chances to make big plays, and they missed all 4 of them. So it's hard for a coach if the players are not having good days. What do you do as a coach?
But
you can't go down there and do it for
change up something. Look at these possessions. I mean, it's interception, missed field goal, interceptions.
The other point of question I direct at you two men is that Kansas City cautiously is, well, we play it safe, we can win the game, let's not give them a chance.
I think their style lends itself to playing a lot of close games anyway, Dick, and this is a great example of it. They've given themselves chances on both sides to make plays, but when a day it doesn't happen, you don't come up with that one big reception or that fumble for a touchdown or whatever. This is what happens.
That's a good point. 8 wins out of 8 at home, but 6 of the wins were by 6 points or less, and 3 were in overtime. They've won, but they've been close. After the Kansas City timeout, and Derek Thomas and half the Chiefs team there to meet Zach Crockett.
You know, Dick, the other thing, too, is yesterday is when we were talking to all of these players, and they all, including Marty Schottenheimer, all believed that they were going to win this football game.
Paul, while we watch the action here, timeout Kansas City, that leaves them with 1 timeout. Wild card breakdown since 70, 14 teams, 14 have gone to the championship game, AFC or NFC. You see 4 of them advanced to the Super Bowl, and only 1 team, a wild card entry, ever won the Super Bowl title, and that was in 1980. Jim Plunkett and the Oakland Raiders beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Chiefs have not lost a home playoff game since this historic contest. Look at Ed Podolak of Kansas City going in for a score. It was Bob Greasy in Miami. It went into overtime, and another overtime, and another before Garo Yepremian hit a 37-yard field goal after Jan Stenerud had missed for Kansas City. Biggest NFL game ever to the Miami Dolphins. 27-24, Christmas Day. Oh, that was very memorable. The day alone, just the fact Christmas, and boy, did the turkey get cold in a lot of houses.
That's right.
Well, I'll tell you, by no means are we writing the Kansas City Chiefs out of this ball game because it's 4 minutes and 24 seconds. But I'm going to tell you what the problem is going to be. When they do get the ball back, they're going to have to take another timeout. They're not going to have any timeouts to move it.
4:24. They can ill afford a first down by Harbaugh, who throws on the run. Incomplete to Gilger, the tight end. He was covered by Brian Washington.
Well, that's the first time we've seen Harbaugh run, throw a pass in about an hour. He hasn't had to.
Well, right here, you're going to see Neil Smith to the left of your screen. Gets inside, enables Jim Harbaugh to get outside, and really plays a little safe. Those are the only good spot where he doesn't give the defense a chance to intercept it. A little overthrown.
Chiefs have held, so with 4:18 left, they still have the 2-minute timeout. There's adequate time for them to generate a march. Vanover himself could get the job done. 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Dardaki, a wobbler, fair catch. Vanover at the 18-yard line. That's where Bono, or will it be Steve Bono, who goes in?
No, it's
Rich Gannon. So Marty Schottenheimer has has to make a change. Bono unable to get the job done, and Rich Gannon, former Minnesota Viking and Washington Redskin, who did come in this year. We saw him against the Oakland Raiders when Bono was injured, come in and do a terrific
job. And we asked Marty Schottenheimer, would you switch quarterbacks? And he said absolutely, without hesitating, that he would switch quarterbacks. And right here, you have to agree with his decision. The quarterback right here, he has not played much this whole year. And right now, the big decision, you're the coordinator or the head coach. What do you call to get him started, to get him involved in the game? And
safe. Everything's safe. Everything has got to be safe. Plenty of time. Yeah, everything has got to be safe. And everything has got to be around Marcus Allen. I've been saying it all day, but it has to be.
2nd and 5. Allen in motion. He has 91 yards rushing. It's Gannon on a roll. Goes to Anders, bumped out of bounds. That'll stop the clock at the 26-yard line. It'll be short of a first down by a couple. Stephen Grant was on the coverage. Rich Gannon in his 8th year in the NFL. Gumbel, Ditka, Gibbs in Montana waiting back in New York with post-game interviews. Jim Kelly will give us his thoughts on the game today. He's here in person. Complete playoff recap. And Phil and Paul will preview the AFC Championship, the Steelers. And at this moment, it's the Colts in the driver's seat with 3.5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Gannon's first pass, or second pass, by Lake Dawson. And Dawson, a rather spectacular effort for a first down.
That is a good word, because Rich Gannon's got the adrenaline pumping, and he lets this ball go and throws it out there with good velocity, and watch the catch right here on this slick field. Lake Dawson doing an excellent job of reaching behind him and making the catch.
You know, we've talked about this so many times. We're talking about how cold it is out there and frozen. And after this, I'm going to ask you about throwing a cold when the football is frozen.
Bono marches the sidelines. Less than 3 minutes to go. He's 3 for 3 now as Gannon, and it's Marcus Allen stopping the clock at the 40 after a 5-yard gain. Ray Buchanan, the defender.
All right, if you're in the game, all the game, and the ball's frozen and you're throwing it, at least you have something
to get used to it.
Right, now, here's a guy comes in, Phil, some 3 hours later. And it is 3 hours since he threw a ball. And he goes in. This thing is as slick as it can possibly be.
Yeah, it is. And I marvel, really, that he's thrown a couple tough passes already and has control of it, Paul. And the tendency is these balls, when they get hard and slick, is to let it slip out of your hand and it goes high. That has not happened too much today.
Spot Anders right and bring Dawson in motion. Give it to Marcus. And Marcus in the crowd battling for all he can buy. Close to the 43-yard line, 3rd and 2.
Well, this thing has gone up and down the field, Phil. You know, the basic thing about it, folks, you can see it right there. There's the score. There's only 3 points separating these two teams. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs is 2:30 and counting. They have one more timeout left.
Plenty of time.
But he's playing it as if he said, this is going to be our possession. We're either going to tie it or win it on this possession. Let's not hurry into a mistake.
That's the way to do it. Now they're in a situation where they can still run the football or pass it.
Colts bunched in. And he throws on 3rd and 2.
He could run.
And a first down at the 41 of the Colts. And that takes it to the 2-minute timeout. Rich Gannon trying to perform some more Kansas City heroics. It's been that kind of year. 2 minutes to go. Kansas City at the Colts 41-yard line.
Well, it was a blitz. It's an excellent pickup by the Kansas City Chiefs. 6 defenders coming. Rich Gannon stepping up, and what a big throw. Throwing it outside, and Lake Dawson. 2 excellent catches.
A couple in the clutch for Dawson.
Well, you know, Sims has been talking about somebody has to step up in this game. Here's 2 guys that are stepping up, Dawson and Gannon.
Do you think Schottenheimer wants Lynn Elliott to step in?
I don't think so.
There's 2 field goals, and now Gannon. Scrambling, and a good one he is. Tucks it away. And is hit hard at the 36-yard line by Quentin Coriat.
You want to see a great play by a linebacker, number 55, Quentin Coriat, because Marcus Allen has got his eyes beaded right on him to take him down. And if Marcus Allen makes the block, then Gannon's got the first down and a lot more. Number 32 is Marcus Allen. Now you see him stepping up inside. He looks back, and he's going to see Gannon run with the ball. And number 55, Quentin Coriat, watch what he does. Over top of Marcus and makes a stop.
What a great play. Used a lot of time between plays, and now Gannon is throwing. It doesn't work.
Well, Ray Buchanan, he is excellent at reading the quarterback and the drop of the quarterback. He sees a quick drop right there, and he drives right through the receiver.
And now the last one for Kansas City with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. And the Kansas City Chiefs, trailing by 3, are at 3rd down 8 at the 39-yard line. They're out of field goal range, certainly from what we've seen today from Lynn Elliott. They need about 15 or 20 more yards.
That last play on Webster Slaughter is a situation where I think that the Kansas City Chiefs thought the defensive secondary, they're going to play soft. They didn't. These guys haven't played soft in 2 games.
And Vince Tobin has been aggressive in his defensive play calling all day. And we saw last week and again today, Ray Buchanan and Ashley Ambrose read the quarterback very well. And when he takes short drops, they're always driving towards the receiver.
Stephen Grant sent in with the word from Vince Tobin. Well, they said in Indianapolis, now the 11th year the Colts have been there, we finally have ourselves a football team. And anyone who feels differently about this team, the way they played the last 3 weekends, wow.
Well, they've been playing for the playoffs for the last month and a half.
That's right. This is 5 straight games. Basically, they've been in the playoffs.
3rd down and 8. All right, Phil, what do you look for here with Gannon off the bench at quarterback?
Well, his strength is moving around a little. To move the pocket somewhat, I think, would benefit him and give him a chance to buy himself extra time or run the football if it's there.
3rd and long has been a nemesis. Yet to convert.
Quarterback draw.
And he's got the 1st down and more to the 25. And now they're in field goal range. Clock running. 1 minute to go.
Plenty of time.
Gannon wastes the down, stops the clock. 53 seconds to go. 2nd and 10.
We got a quarterback draw here, and I got a guy standing behind me, Jim Kelly, that's just smiling from ear to ear. He loved the call.
It's a good play, but they send everybody out of the backfield. There you can see Stephen Grant, the only linebacker left, leaves the inside, the pocket of the defense, and Rich Gannon, like we said, one of his strengths is running the football.
What takes so long to spike that ball?
I don't know what takes them long. They go up and actually call signals. I hear them from up here putting out a cadence, and it should have some type of signal to go up and say, go, get it, and spike it, and save a few extra seconds.
What a dive job by Rich Gannon. 5 for 5. Plus the quarterback draw. Now he pumps and looks to the sidelines to Derek Walker, incomplete. Walker slipping as he hit that frozen painted turf, especially where it's painted the white area. That is like true ice.
Dick, on both sides, from the hash marks really almost all the way out. The only place there's any kind of footing at all is in the middle of the field between the 2 hash marks. There's nothing out here. When you see this ball thrown and you try to stop to come back, look at his feet just go out from underneath him. There's no way to hold on.
3rd down and 10. Can Rich Gannon, subbing for starter Steve Bono, rally his team? This is the 13th play. It started back at the 18 of Kansas City, trailing by 3.
I think you got to be aggressive and try to pick up the 1st down if you're Kansas City right here.
He's going to go for it all, but it's thrown incomplete. What an effort by Lake Dawson with Ashley Ambrose on the coverage. It appeared that the pass was too long, and Dawson acrobatically went after it.
Excellent throw by Rich Gannon right here. Look to the left. You'll see the safety way back there, David Tate. He just throws it over the top of his head, and Lake Dawson gets both hands on it, not able to pull it down.
Ashley Ambrose almost has a chance. I mean, the ball is cold and he's cold, but watch when this ball comes down, it hits off his helmet, almost has a chance to intercept it.
Ellis Johnson injured on the play.
That was a great throw.
Well, it comes down, and if you're even the most confident of Kansas City fans, you've got to be jittery because Lynn Elliott has not built much confidence in his effort today nor late in this season when he, at one stretch, missed 3 extra points out of 5. He's missed from 35 and 39, and this will be even longer, 42.
Well, and you guarantee as soon as he gets himself ready to go, the Colts have one more timeout. They're going to take it.
Here you see the 2 misses, and the bad thing for Lynn Elliott, what win there is going into the same side he's kicking to right now. The first time goes easy and pushes it right. That time the second one tries to be aggressive, too aggressive, comes over the top of it, makes it left.
Remember the last time we did a game, he did the same thing, one left, one right, and the next one, where'd it go?
Down the middle.
This one goes down the middle.
43 yards out of Aguiar's hold. And, of course, with this -0 conditions and a frozen field, everything has to be perfect to tie it and send it into possible overtime. It is no good. Wide to the left, and look at the Colts sidelines.
Tim Runnard just threw his helmet. I mean, he is down about the 15-yard line, and you talk about dejected. Tim Runnard is just, beside himself. He cannot believe that 3 field goals have been missed today. They've been in a position a number of times to at least tie the ball game.
Well, a couple question marks, really. I guess field goal kicking and the quarterback coming in the game, and it really backfired on the Kansas City Chiefs today.
And Captain Comeback in the way came back from 7-0 down and has led these Colts to 10-7, and they only need a couple of kneel downs and this is over. And Dan Rooney's on the phone right now calling the ushers. We got work for you next Sunday.
Well, there was a big cheer in Pittsburgh when he missed that field goal, I'm sure, to play at home for the championship once again.
You know what? You talk about a whole lot of things, and who do you give credit to in this ball game? You've got to give credit to their defense.
Absolutely.
Vince Tobin, with this defense that he had, they come in here without Siragusa. He can't play, and they just do the job against this team. They basically the entire ball game shut down the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, the upstart Colts weren't given much of a chance in San Diego a week ago and beat the Chargers 35-20 on their home turf. They come here even a bigger underdog against Kansas City, the winningest team in the NFL, and have pulled the upset of the championships. Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Dick. Well, Jim, it just keeps getting better and better. Last week, San Diego. This week, you come in against Kansas City. The cold didn't seem to affect you at all today.
No, it didn't, and I just want to give all thanks and praise my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for another blessing like this. And the cold didn't affect us that much. It was 2 good football teams. I thought it'd be an even game, and the turnovers swung in our favor, and I think that was the difference.
All those years in Chicago, did that experience help you today, particularly under these conditions?
Yeah, it felt like being back in Ann Arbor, Michigan, or Soldier Field. It really, I like playing in the cold weather. But Kansas City's a heck of a football team. We got some breaks today, and we're happy to be moving on in this playoffs.
You now go to Pittsburgh. You haven't been afraid of San Diego. You knock out the top-rated team. What about the Pittsburgh Steelers now?
I don't know. It doesn't get any easier. 1 week it's Junior Seau, then Derek Thomas. Now we got Greg Lloyd. It's the best linebackers in football. And we got another one next week.
Jim, congratulations. We now have Ted Marchibroda, the head coach, with us.
Jim.
How improbable would you have thought this would have been at the beginning of the season that you would now be in the AFC Championship?
Well, it's a tremendous tribute to our ball club, Jim. They played hard all year, and I tell you, from a work standpoint, they deserve all of this. We beat a good football team today with the best record in the National Football League. Our goal was to get to the playoffs, and once we got to the playoffs, anything could happen, and anything has happened.
3 interceptions, plus you were very effective in stopping Marcus Allen in the running game.
Well, that was a big play. The defense played a tremendous job. That was a good football team. We knew we had to beat them on defense because of the fact they were such a strong defensive ball club. But it was a great team effort overall.
Will you send Lynn Elliott a thank you card?
Well, listen, we missed one also, and those things are going to happen. But thank goodness we came out on top. And I say real happy for the Irsay family and for our football players.
Have you thought about the Pittsburgh Steelers yet?
No, we really haven't, Jim. We're just so delighted to be there. But it's going to be a good football game because our guys have played well all year.
Congratulations to you, Ted. Enjoy the celebration.
Well, thank you very much.
Let's go back upstairs to Dick Enberg.
The Colts, a team that had to beat New England, and that was tough in the final game of the season to get in. The playoffs are now in the championship game, and coming up, our NBC NFL postgame report. Greg Gumbel, Iron Mike, and Coach Gibbs and Joe Montana will analyze the action here as well as look forward to next week's championships. Once again, the final score, the big underdogs in this game, the Indianapolis Colts 10, Kansas City Chiefs 7. For Paul McGuire, Phil Simms, and Jim Gray, I'm Dick Enberg saying so long from Kansas City, Missouri. The turnover battle was won by the Colts against a team that has had that turnover ratio the last 6 years. The Colts go to Pittsburgh with a chance alive to go all the way to the Super Bowl. We'll be sending you to our NFL NBC studios after these messages.
Welcome back, everyone. Along with Mike Ditka, Joe Gibbs, and Joe Montana, I'm Greg Gumbel. Before we get started on the post-game show, a reminder, those of you tuning in for our primetime schedule should tell the Indianapolis Colts that dome teams are not supposed to go to the Super Bowl. No team that plays its home games in a dome stadium has ever advanced to the Super Bowl, but this is a team, Mike, that is doing things that it's not supposed to do.
Well, the one thing they're doing that they're supposed to do, that all teams that win games do, they play great defense. You got to congratulate Vince Tobin again on his defensive strategy. He mixed things up. Bono had a bad day, but I think the defense had a lot to do with it. And, you know, I got to wonder about Lynn Elliott. You know, I mean, I know what kind of coach I am, but a guy who missed 3 extra points down the season, I don't think he would have had a chance to kick those 3 today.
You know, one of the things that we discussed at great length was the substitution of Rich Gannon at a critical point in the game, Joe, for Steve Bono.
Yeah, I had disagreed at the time when we were sitting here looking at it, but actually the results, I think he got the results. He got him down the field and gave him a chance. The thing that was amazing to me is Bono had 520 attempts this year, throwing 10 interceptions. Today he has 24 and throws 3. Now maybe it has something to do too with the fact that it was his first start in a playoff game. Maybe that has something to do with it. Both teams played hard. I think one had a hot quarterback, one didn't. And one had a kicker that wasn't on.
Steve Bono was 11 of 23 for 122 yards and did throw a touchdown pass, but he had those interceptions. Take a look at how Bono was throwing the football today. This is his pass down the middle with the score tied at 7 in the third quarter, intended for Webster Slaughter, picked off by cornerback Ashley Ambrose. It was 10-7 Colts in the fourth. Bono back, has time, but throws into traffic. Looking for Lake Dawson, picked off by Quentin Coriat. The Colts took over in Kansas City territory. Same score, 10-7 in the fourth. Chiefs at their own 32. Bono again. And he does have time to throw. He overthrows Willie Davis, who looked to be open. Eugene Daniel with the pick. He returned to 12 yards to the Chiefs' 48. And the Kansas City Chiefs never really quite recovered. Let's talk a little bit about Steve Bono. And is it easy enough just to say, well, it was just a bad day for him?
I think one of the things as a quarterback that you find yourself, you get in these games that you refer to as ugly games, and this was definitely an ugly football game. And the thing that you can't do as a quarterback is take yourself out of that game. You can't out of your own game. And this seems to what happened there. You find yourself trying to make a play down the field instead of trying to just go about the same normal rhythm. Don't take the offense away from itself. Don't make it do things that it can't do, that you haven't done all year. You got to find a way to get your team back into the rhythm. You can't take those big chances when you're in this kind of football game.
All right, Joe, the NFL has announced the schedule for next weekend. This is it. The AFC Championship game, Indianapolis at Pittsburgh, will kick off at 12:30 Eastern Time. We will be on the air at noon with the NFL on NBC from Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. The NFC Championship game, Green Bay at Dallas, will kick off at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. So the Indianapolis Colts improved to 11-7 with their 10-7 win over the Kansas City Chiefs. Lamont Warren substituting for running back Marshall Faulk, a big player today, as was defensive back Ashley Ambrose a short while ago. Jim Gray talked with them out at Arrowhead Stadium.
Back in Kansas City, a stunned crowd filing out. Ashley Ambrose, you guys had 3 interceptions today, forced Steve Bono out at the end. Tell us about your defensive scheme and why were you so successful in stopping the Chiefs?
I think we just had to mix it up and stop their running game. And I think if you stop their running game, it kind of makes them hard to pass. And as a secondary, you know, we made sure we was going to stay back on the play action because, I mean, that's something they really strive on. And, you know, I think we stopped that and it helped us get this victory.
Obviously, it wasn't too deflating not to have Tony Siragusa here today because you guys went on and played very well without him.
Yeah, but, you know, this for Goose. I mean, he's still with us, you know, even though he's sick and everything at home. But he's still with us. You know, this victory is for him as well as for us.
Great game. Congratulations,
right.
Ashley.
Hey,
Lamont Warren.
Let her rip, too.
Let her rip. That's the word for the Colts so far this season. Lamont Warren, what about this offensive team today? Every time you guys seem to get in a situation where you had to hold on to the ball, you were able to convert the big first downs. Didn't put a lot of points on the board today, but you just kept the ball long enough.
Yeah, well, you know, this team, we believed in each other, and we just wanted to go out and have fun. We didn't have anything to lose. We felt like everybody was against us. Our backs were against the wall, but we came up victorious. We just kept fighting and having fun.
What about going now into Pittsburgh? It's not too long that you can enjoy this, but you guys have had great success. You had to win against New England. You had to win against San Diego. You come in here, you have to win 3 times now, otherwise you're home. So I guess Pittsburgh probably won't bother you?
Yeah, this is a great victory for us right now, but, you know, the bottom line is we got to get ready for Pittsburgh. We're going to be ready, and I would just like to say this was for Marshall Faulk. You know, even though he wasn't here, we were fighting for him, and Sarah Goose and all the players weren't able to make it.
Lamont, congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, let's send it back to you.
All right, Jim Gray, I suspect scrappy will be the word you will see most often used tomorrow morning to describe the Indianapolis Colts. They advance to the AFC title game. Advancing today to the NFC title game, the Dallas Cowboys, who beat up on the Philadelphia Eagles to the tune of 30-11. Now, coming into today, Cowboys had beaten the Eagles 7 of their last 8 times they played. 3-0 Dallas late in the first quarter. Rodney Peete, the starting quarterback for the Eagle, will scramble for a first down, but watch him get met head-on by Darren Woodson. Peete hit in the head, forced out of the game with a concussion. Randall Cunningham came on to play the rest of the way at quarterback. 3-3 tie in the second. Troy Aikman, the reverse to Deion Sanders, who pulls a reverse of his own. That side is blocked up. He comes our way. 21 yards and a touchdown, his first touchdown as a Cowboy. Dallas went up 10-3. Dallas looking for more. Aikman, pump fakes, throws deep for Kevin Williams. This is a 37-yard completion, which led to a 1-yard Emmitt Smith touchdown run. The Cowboys led at halftime 17-3. Williams finished with 6 catches, 124 yards. All Cowboys. Aikman to Michael Irvin, 9 yards. His first catch of the day is a dandy. 30-3 Dallas. They won it 30-11. After the game, some of the Dallas Cowboys talked about facing the Green Bay Packers.
I'm looking forward to playing next week. It doesn't matter who's quarterbacking the other team. I'm just happy to be in the championship game with another opportunity to go back to Super Bowl.
I'm not going against Brett Favre by myself. I'm going against Brett Favre with a hell of a defense. Brett is a great player, and he's going to come in here ready to play. Those guys played their butts off yesterday, and you got to give them some credit, and they have a very good team.
Green Bay just played a great game of defense and a great game of offense and made things happen, and they're a team to definitely be reckoned with, and when they come down here, it's not going to be a cakewalk. I mean, they have shown that they're definitely legitimate and should be in the playoff and should be in the NFC Championship game. They definitely deserve to be here.
So it's Dallas against the Green Bay Packers for the right to move on to the Super Bowl. And in the AFC, it'll be Indianapolis against Pittsburgh. Up next, we'll be joined live by Jim Kelly.